Wait soon. Make Xian Dai Mao light a dark, but soon then nod. He knew that she must have a reason not to let him go, and he believed her words. Don't worry about it. I will not let you down if I leave the rest of the soldiers. Cloud Dance light smile raised, looking at Make Xian Dai. Have you in, I am very at ease. Gao Yu soon gathered the elite troops together. Yunwu told Xian Tian to train other soldiers in any special way and left with the elite soldiers. Dress up and wait for me at the junction with Long Shugua. When Yunwu looked at the soldiers' battle clothes, he always felt that some of them were too eye-catching. Yes, 100 soldiers nodded respectfully. Yunwu nodded slightly, just about to leave, as if he thought of something, looking back and said, You can't do it if you don't have to, do you understand? Yes. They all spoke in unison. Cloud Dance a tiny pick eyebrow, the corner of the mouth raised a smile, as if very satisfied with their present state. But 3 seconds later, her face suddenly sank down. Don't be so stiff. After leaving, the younger sister's younger sister, drinking, eating meat, what to do? People wonder, what is a girl? However, I understood the general meaning and said, I know, Miss Nine. The cloud dances the Mao light to pass as silk to approve, the child can teach also. Finally, after telling Gao Yu, Yunwu left in the air. People looked at the cloud dancing figure, slightly stunned. This speed can be listed as immortal, right? After Yunwu left, he came to the eastern suburb woods. She explores the location of the killer core and finds their figures in a secret remnant. At this time, Bai Qingshui and others have rested. She deliberately pressed the breath to the lowest level. A phantom came to them, and the fast shadow could not be captured. But, brush! Cold light flashed by. The sword in Bai Qingshui's hand has been pulled out, and it is still 1 meter away from Yunwu's chest. Yunwu looks at the swords around him, and the corners of his mouth outline slightly. It seems that their strength has been greatly promoted, much faster than she imagined. Bai Qingshui looks at the cloud dance, and the surprise looms in his cold eyes. Her strength has improved again. Although they are resting, their vigilance is not relaxed all the time. When they feel the abnormal breath, they have already shot with the fastest speed. But in front of her, it's still slow. Their current strength and speed, among the assassins, should belong to the top, but compared with her, they are still far behind. Yes, I'm satisfied. The cloud dances and raises the corner of the mouth. The eye light dawns, a touch of praise. They took back their swords and looked at each other. In addition to being stunned, they were surprised. Sha Qi stood up, bowed his head respectfully and asked, Master, have you improved your strength again? Cloud Dance droops Mao a smile, did not answer his question. He glanced at the crowd and said, After training for so long, it's time to go and practice. Wait for me at the junction of Longshu Kingdom. Yes, everyone immediately nodded respectfully, and there was a ray of light in their eyes. After training for so long, they are waiting for this moment to try their strength. Cloud Dance slightly jaw ahead, brush sleeve left the woods. The night was dim, and half of the sky was pale. The cloud dances in the air and gallops. He lifts his eyes and condenses the dense air. He is slightly relieved. He has done all that he should do. Now the most important thing is to go to Longzuguo. With 100 soldiers, the target is too big, and her identity is completely exposed. Those who want her life are everywhere. It's better to separate them just in case. What's more, she is not ready to let anyone know the existence of her forces. After daybreak, Yunwu finally rushed back to the inn to meet Nanganji, who had been discussed before. In fact, let Nangong follow her back to the college, is the meaning of the man Long Qingxia. It's rare for a man so jealous to suggest that other men follow her. However, Yunwu knows very well. The man was worried about her safety. In the competition, after her identity was exposed, she was faced with more than just a few minor characters. But Mo Yebing, even the cruel role of the Queen Xuelio. One more Nanganji can ensure her safety. His idea, Cloud Dance how cannot understand it, so she did not refuse as long as he can rest assured. Here. As soon as Yunwu stepped into the inn, he heard a warm and cool voice. Looking back, Nangong is tasting tea there. With a slight hook on the corner of his mouth, he walks towards him. Is everything done? Cloud danced slightly jaw-head, picked up the teacup on the table. A sip. Done. What time to start? Nangong Yi turns the teacup in his hand, thinking deeply. Cloud Dance looked at his thoughtful expression, slightly pulled the corner of his mouth, took back his eyes, pretended not to see, and calmly said, I'll leave soon. Nangong Yi nodded slightly, and the fingers on the back of tea turned white. In the twinkling of an eye, he put down the teacup, sighed imperceptibly, raised his eyes and looked at Yunwu. Let's go. Hey, did you hear that something happened to Yunfu in the Imperial City? Just as Yunwu nodded, a simple and fierce voice suddenly came to stop Yunwu's action. What happened? What's the matter? Why don't I know? I heard that an assassin sneaked into Yunfu last night and killed several people. Even Master Yun was injured. How can it be? It's the general's residence. Who dares to assassinate him? Isn't it a suicide? Who knows, but the news I got is absolutely true. Cloud Dance micro frown, listened to a few men on the table, you a word I a word, cold eyes covered with a layer of frost, grasped the finger of the cup unconsciously force. The assassin sneaked into Yunfu? And hurt the old man. How can ordinary people hurt the strength of the old man? Cloud Dance half squints eyes, pondering who is the most suspect. Suddenly, her eyes suddenly lifted, and a shadow passed in her mind. Is it her? Fontanesia. It seems that only she has a good reason to move Yunfu. Snow Willow so blatantly in the general's head on the ground, not afraid to be found? Cloud Dance eyes light dark, eyes suddenly a cold. Is there someone behind this thing? It's a day away from the Imperial City, even if you use the most advanced flying beast. Yunwu was assassinated last night, and the news arrived here at noon today. It seems that the time is not very suitable. Nangongji's calm and cool voice broke the meditation of Cloud Dance. Although there are 2 cities away from the border city, if you want to return to the Imperial City, even with the fastest flying beast, you can't get the news here in half a day. Isn't it? Cloud Dance bottom mi, in a moment toward just that corner table swept. But found that the people on the table, already no trace. It seems that someone deliberately released the news to lead her back to the Imperial City? Nangong Yi also looked at the empty table in the corner and looked up at the Cloud Dance. It's estimated that the Imperial City is not very peaceful at this time. Let's go to Longshu country. Although he didn't know the situation in the Imperial City, it didn't mean that he didn't know the hidden danger. The Cloud dances and hears the speech, but ponders over it. The dark flow under the eyes is flickering. Originally, she was going to meet with Long Qingxie, but now she has another thing to consider. No matter whether the news is intentionally released or not, it is estimated that the Cloud family is not very calm now. She may be cold-blooded, but in the end, the Cloud family is her root. If you leave her alone, her grandfather Nangongji looks at Yunwu. Do you want to go back to the Imperial City? Cloud Dance raised her head and drew a bloodthirsty arc like poppy in the corner of her mouth. Since someone wants me to go back, I will go naturally. Nangong Yi frowned, knowing that there is danger. Do you want to go back? The Cloud dances the corner of the mouth coldly to put on a cold smile. Dangerous? Where is there no danger around me? If you don't want to be dangerous, you have to solve the dangerous cancer. Nangong Yi didn't answer. He took a sip of the cup again. Under the white gauze, he could not see his expression at the moment, but vaguely felt that there was a trace of darkness and dignity in his incorruptible breath. I'll go back to Yunfu first and solve the problem. Please take a message for him. The Cloud dances Lo Mao Sun, the undercurrent that the eye ground shows not surge. I'll go with you. Nangong Yi looks at Yunwu, warm and firm. Cloud Dance slightly raised his mouth. Your identity, go back will only make your father difficult to do, not in a hurry for a while. What's more, I hope you can help him. You. Nangong Yi's indifferent eyes pass a trace of worry. He wanted to say something else, but he was interrupted by Yunwu. Don't worry, it's better to have a spear, so as not to kill in a large area. It's not suitable. Cloud Dance coldly a smile, the killing intention in Mao Guang looms. Nangong-yi looks at Yunwoo and seems to understand that she will not change her decision. After pondering for a moment, Nangong-yi nodded slightly, put down his teacup and stood up. Be careful all the way. Cloud Dance looks at the back figure of Nangong-yi leaving, the corner of the mouth slightly raises, and gets up to leave the inn. Now the Zhou dynasty has begun to be lively. Since she wants to make the fire more prosperous, she will help her. Wait to set yourself on fire. In the Cloud Dancing eyes, a touch of bloodthirsty scarlet flash away. It was outside a forest in the imperial city of the Zhou dynasty. A figure from the flying beast jumped down, sensitive and rapid. On the way, it's the imperial city. Originally, Yunwoo wanted to enter the imperial city directly, but at night, there were city guards patrolling in the air, so it was too lazy to bother. Yunwoo also planned to enter the city from the land. The night is winding, and the dark woods are gloomy and quiet. Under the cold moonlight, a touch of cool figure, fast forward in the forest outside the imperial city. All of a sudden, that pair of sharp eyes sun inside flit a touch of cold light, slightly lift-eyed to glance around. It's murderous. The Cloud dances the corner of the mouth to peep out to put on a sneer. It seems, still really have preparation but come. She explored all around with her mental strength, and found 5 assassins hiding in the woods, and the eyes full of killing intention were staring at her for a moment. The eyes were as sharp as seeing the prey, and the killing intention was strong. It seems that it has been dormant for a long time, waiting for the prey of Cloud Dance. Unfortunately, what they don't know is that when they think others are their prey, they become the prey in the eyes of others. Sa. Extremely light sound of shuttling. Cloud Dance but clearly heard. In the next second, the 5 shadows which overlapped with the night, came like ghosts dancing towards the clouds. They were as light as a swallow and silent. Cloud Dance eyes slightly squint, the corners of the mouth pull out a cold radiance. At the moment when the assassin was close to her, a dense dark purple mist surrounded her body, and her power exploded in an instant. Bang! With the sound of a crash, how did the 5 shadows come and get beaten back 5 assassins by the cold moonlight? Looking at the clouds, cold eyes are surprised. You found them long ago? The Cloud dances the sharp edge of the mouth a yang. Mao Guang swept one eye 5 different direction assassins, micro frown. The next second, the man in black was entangled by 5 vines. With the sound of pain, he rolled to Yunwoo like a toy. Cloud Dance glares at the painful man in black in front of him, and his eyes are covered with bloodthirsty scarlet. Who is your master? The answer to this question she knows. However, she wanted these people to take a message to her, but she didn't want to let one go so easily. If you want to kill, you can cut it. One of the assassins closed his eyes and looked like he was being slaughtered. At the first shot of Yunwoo, they knew that they were not her opponents in any case. It's just that what scares them is. Her strength made them feel more terrible than their master. Even instinctively, they felt their hearts tremble. Have backbone. I don't know if there is backbone without bones. The Cloud dances from the corner of his mouth and laughs chillingly. It's cold and bloodthirsty and makes the assassin tremble. A hand flick, Cloud Dance calls out Hongling from the space. As soon as Hongling came out, she saw the assassin on the ground and knew that there was meat to eat again. She lay on Yunwoo's shoulder and said, Master. Are you really a summoner? As soon as the man in black saw Hongling, he stuttered and looked at Yunwoo. His eyes were surprised, and suddenly he was afraid. It said that it's different from what I saw with my own eyes. Cloud dances the corner of the mouth to raise bloodthirsty smile, glanced at assassin one eye. Don't you know early? It is estimated that the whole mainland of China knows that she is a summoner. And it's impossible for Xuelio's men not to know. You. At the moment, looking at the cold and bloodthirsty Cloud dance, the man in black wanted to say something, but he couldn't say anything. Cloud Dance draws back the vision, glanced at the red Ling on the shoulder one eye, cold way. He handed over to you. Hongling immediately withdrew from Yunwoo's shoulder. In the blink of an eye, the originally small bouquet turned into a huge original shape. The ferocious mouth of its tusks, in the night, was extremely terrifying. Master, Then I'll eat it. The mouth of Hongling's tusks was thick and dripping. Then, without waiting for Yunwu to open his mouth, he couldn't wait to open his mouth. Ah! With a scream, Hongling has dragged the man in black, who is bound by the vine, to one side. Only bones. Just when Hongling wanted to swallow it, the cloud danced a very cold voice, which stopped it from biting. The bones? It's a carnivorous plant, not a dog. Master! Red Ling Rong dissatisfied looking at Cloud Dance, almost a snot a tear. Cloud Dance frowned. Majesty glanced at it. Take the meat to me quickly. Hongling Big Mouth wronged a flat, as if pathetic looking at Cloud Dance. However, after touching Yunwu's cold and bloodthirsty eyes, he was so scared that he quickly put away his grievances and worked hard. The other 4 assassins on the ground heard her words and looked at her eyes as if they were thrilled to see a ghost. Is she the devil? You say, without bones, is there still backbone? Cloud Dance will Mao Guang lock in another assassin body, Sin smile of pig eyebrow. You kill me, I don't know. The assassin took back his surprised and frightened eyes and tried not to look at the blood on Hongling's side. I like to have a temper. The cloud dances with a clear smile, receives a brush, and calls out a little stink from the contract space. Ma. Maybe too long no see, small stink see Cloud Dance, happy can't, a strength in her body rub a rub. Cloud Dance's face turned black, pulled the little stink down, glanced at the assassin and said, Mom, if you want to roast the whole sheep, I'll give it to you. Little Stinky wants to eat after listening to Cloud Dance, and immediately drags away the assassin. After a while, a flash of fire swept up and screamed through the sky. And the temperature in the air, also in the moment. There's a bloody smell, there's a barbecue smell. The remaining 3 were pale at the moment. They didn't want to see the cruel scene, but they couldn't help looking. In the next question, Yunwu releases by Schwer and Lan Yu in turn. The assassins were terrified. Is this the ability of multi-series summoners, multi-series contract Warcraft? Choose one and play. That's what Cloud Dance says. Then there's only one of the 3. Cloud Dance looked at the ground. Only a man in black, tone more insipid. Do not know what kind of death do you want to try? The only remaining assassin, watching the other 4 companions being bitten, burned, ice stabbed and wind blade cut to pieces, was so shocked in his eyes that he almost had nausea in his stomach that he could not help vomiting. Assassins are determined to commit suicide after the mission fails. However, at this time he was trapped like rice dumplings, and there was no way to commit suicide. What's more, not everyone is really not afraid of death. In particular, seeing this bloodthirsty girl and her contract animals, it seems that death is not terrible, and it is terrible to be so late. I said. Cloud Dance, eyes slightly squint, mouth a hook, finally have a know how to cherish the opportunity. Yes, the Queen sent us here to kill you. The man in black twisted his eyebrows painfully and lay on the ground, as if he didn't want to see the scene in the distance anymore. Cloud Dance, a hook on the corner of the mouth, a touch of cold in the eyes. Glancing at him, she said, Is the news that something happened to the Cloud family under her command? Hearing this, the man in black said, I don't know. It seems that your consciousness is not high either. Suddenly, a wooden sword suddenly appeared in Yunwu's hand, kicking the bodies of the people in black on the ground. The wooden sword slowly approached with an extremely tormenting speed. The feeling of waiting for death so long. The Queen sent someone to do it. When the wooden sword poked into the skin of the assassin's chest, he cried out, as if to vent his fear of waiting for death. Cloud Dance's scarlet eyes slightly seemed very satisfied with his reaction now. Then Qingling said, What's the purpose? In order to attract you, kill you completely. The assassin is not hiding, will know all the tray out. It seems that did not want to live, just wanted Cloud Dance can give him a happy. Threaten me with Yun Fu and make me compromise, right? The Cloud Dance droops the moyu to sneer. The sharp line of the corner of the mouth is more obvious. The assassin nodded and closed his eyes, as if waiting for death. He said all he knew, just for a good time. Suddenly, the assassin felt on his chest, and the sharp and cold feeling disappeared. Suddenly he opened his eyes and found that the wooden sword on his chest had disappeared. Yunwoo also stood up. The assassin's frightened eyes passed a trace of doubt. The next second, the vine around him also loosened. You can go now. Give her a word for me. I'll take her life. The cloud dances the Mao light undercurrent surging, after glancing at the assassin, turned to leave. Behind her, there are 4 followers who are full of food, drink, and play. The assassin looked at the distant cloud dance, and there was no response. After experiencing the devil's killing, can he still live? However, if he returns, will he have life? Ma meat. Small stink of fly petal, jumped to cloud dance body, hand still holding a piece of roast black meat, a face excited will pass the meat to cloud dance. The cloud dances to smell speech, the facial expression suddenly a black. Immediately the little stink on the body pulled down, carried in mid-air, a touch of anti-nausea feeling followed, cold way, throw it. Xiao Smelly blinked and looked at Yunwoo suspiciously, staring at the 2 little fat legs in the air, then raised the meat in his hand. Isn't Mama hungry meat? The black line on Yunwoo's forehead rises, and it's even more disgusting to see the meat. Master, that's rabbit meat. Hongling really can't see it anymore. She can't help reminding Yunwoo. Didn't the master find that the smelly thing was carrying a rabbit leg? And by Shuer and Lan you can't help laughing when they see the scene just now. She's always smart. Why didn't she notice this time? Yunwoo is stunned when she hears the words. She looks at the rabbit's big muscle in Xiaochou's hand with disgusting eyes. Her forehead turns black. It's really a rabbit leg. Small stink saw cloud dance eyes, no cold light and nausea, immediately excited up, 2 legs flying in the air, running like the hands of the meat, again to the cloud. Meat. Yunwoo takes the rabbit meat in her hand and puts it in her arms. Looking at her red ears, she has a bad taste in her heart. He realized that she didn't eat human meat, so he roasted rabbit meat. This little thing, although often angry, but really let her not sad. Cloud Dance looks at the rabbit meat in the hand and sighs. If these little guys, one by one, could be as considerate as they are now, she would not have a headache. After knowing exactly the purpose of Xuelyo, Yunwoo rushed back to Yunfu as soon as possible. However, she also wanted to understand that Xuelyo had been chasing her secretly for fear of being found out. This time, she made such a big stir and threatened her with Yunfu. There must be something behind this. Maybe it also involves the interests of imperial power. It seems that things are more and more interesting. It's just that what Yunwoo doesn't know. The Cloud family encounters an assassin, and the Cloud Master is stabbed. The news is true, not empty. Yunfu. Old Master, Miss Nine is back. There was a guard call outside the door. Suddenly, the old man, who was still lying in the hospital bed, sat up and glanced at the door. He said in a loud voice, "What did you say?" "Miss Nine is back." The guard was startled by his loud voice and said again, "9 wenches are back?" Cloud Chi Mao light happy color suddenly rises. A lift quilt will get out of bed. Squeak. Just as he was about to get out of bed, the door was pushed open and a cold figure came in. "Grandpa, are you okay?" As soon as Yunwoo came into the room, he saw the pale Yunchi. He immediately stepped forward and asked with a slight frown. When Yunchi saw it, he could not help laughing, a circle of wrinkles around his eyes. "It's okay. It's okay. If it wasn't for being beaten by my family, how could the little bunny hurt me?" Yunchi's face twisted, patted her body, and her voice didn't decrease because of the injury. The Cloud dances in the Mao light to pass a silk helpless. Listen to Cloud Chi 100 decibels of big voice, confirmed that he didn't suffer too serious injury. But she was angry at the bottom of her heart. Because she just came back to the Cloud home to know that the news of the Cloud home accident was true. So, as soon as she got back to her house, she came to Yunchi's house. However, 9 wenches, how did you come back? Yunchi frowns slightly and her eyes flash. She looks at Yunwoo anxiously. Although he never asked anything. However, his heart is like a mirror, many things are very clear in his heart. The 9 girls heard that they had exposed their strength in the competition, which means that they were in the light. She returned to the imperial city. is not the wolf into the tiger's mouth. Cloud Dance coagulated his one eye, saw the worry in his eyes, the corner of the mouth relieved slightly smile. Don't worry, I can come back, that means I am sure. Yunqi nodded and his fierce eyes were full of warning. 9 girls, don't worry, Cloud House will always be your backing. If they dare to come, old man, I don't mind loosening my muscles and bones every day, but who dares to move you, I'll absolutely break him up. The Cloud dances and hears the speech, slightly alung. In fact, maybe what she came back to wait for was nothing else but such a sentence. In a word, the recognition and support of the family seems to be enough. However, now her reputation is too loud, whether it's Zitong Girl's enemy or Miss Yunfu's 9, now she's coming directly to Lao Zhen Yunfu. The Cloud family may not be very peaceful. However, in front of this old man, but unconsciously, as if let her more and more care. Is this old man careless? Naked care moved her? Maybe. If once upon a time, she would not care if there was an accident in Yunfu, but now she put down Longqingxi for the time being and came back in a hurry. For whom? Isn't it just for the person in front of you? Cloud Dance looks down and smiles, as if there's another person you can trust. Grandfather, does the emperor know this? The Cloud dances, the Mao light passes a cold on, opening a way. It's just an assassin. The emperor manages everything every day. You don't have to trouble him with this little thing. Yunqi looks at Yunwu suspiciously, with a pair of fierce eyes looking at her. Aren't people from the queen's side? How can this girl ask like this? Yunwu glances at Yunqi's face, which suddenly darkens, and a trace of meditation passes through his eyes. The old man is so smart that he can understand what she said. And she wanted the old man to understand. In the magnificent main hall of the harem. Master, she's back. The assassin who assassinated Yunwu bowed his head respectfully. Xuelyo squints her beautiful eyes and looks at the embarrassed breath of the assassin. She suddenly understands that the assassin failed. The snow willow eye ground passes a cold idea. How can she let you go? The assassin felt the chill in Xuelyo's words. He could not help but cool his back and lowered his head deeper. He asked me to bring a word to the master. What's that? Xuelyo sips tea and looks at the assassin blandly. The assassin pondered for a long time and didn't say anything. It seems that I dare not say. I beg your pardon. The snow willow glanced at him, and her beautiful eyes were plain. She said she'll take your life. Bang! As soon as the assassin's voice fell, he flew out in a straight line and hit the table and chair in the distance. There was a clatter. In the snow willow beautiful eyes, the chill appeared, and a void forced the distant man in black out of breath. Until the man in black was about to suffocate and roll his eyes. Snow willow just relaxed some strength, beautiful Mao in the chilly and angry, inform Cloud Mansion, tomorrow hold a banquet, I want to let her leave life to me first. Yes. The assassin in black said difficultly and respectfully. Xuelyo took back the strength of emptiness, picked up the teacup on the table and continued to taste it. It seemed that everything just happened was just an episode, and it didn't exist at all. But her anger and aim could not be completely hidden. 2 failures, but also the whole body back, your head in the left once. Snow Willow's slender fingers stroked the wine glass, and the tone was just like that cup of tea. Yes, I'm leaving. The man in black was hoarse and uncomfortable. After his voice answered, he reluctantly stood up, slightly bowed his head, turned and left quickly. Xuelyo glances at the man in black who left, and the killing intention emerges in his purple eyes. In another palace of the Imperial Palace, Zhou Feiyu was thinking about something there. Your Highness, the Queen is going to give a banquet to Yunwu girl. Wu Han came to Zhou Feiyu and told him the words of monitoring the Queen. Zhou Feiyu smell speech, Mao Guang awe-inspiring a cold, then look back to 5 cold, think of a way to let her not come. 5 cold 1 lung, in the eye schemes a touch of worry. It's a critical moment now. Your Highness will do it for that girl again. Wu Han was about to say something, but he could touch Zhou Feiyu's warning eyes, so he shut up. Finally, I had to nod and leave. Zhou Feiyu stood up and stood in front of the window with dignity that could not be ignored. Entering the palace is like falling into a swamp. You can't help yourself. Whoever saves will die. But to her, he can't help the next day. Early in the morning, imperial edict came from the palace, saying that the empress had a banquet for Miss Yun Jiajio. Cloud Dance looks at the imperial edict and sneers. Do you want to start first? Since it's an edict, you can't disobey it. Yunwoo made up and went to the palace with her father-in-law. Halfway through the carriage, Yunwoo suddenly felt a strong sense of killing, and her eyes suddenly became cold. Is it true that there are too many enemies? You'll find revenge everywhere? Hiss. In an instant, the galloping carriage stopped abruptly. The momentum increases instantly, and Yunwoo is not thrown out because it is on guard. Then she heard a scream from the next carriage. When I opened the curtain, I found that the father-in-law in another carriage was thrown out and rolled on the ground. The cloud dances the corner of mouth a yang, then lift the Imayu to glance to the person who stops the carriage, Mao Guang a cold. Is there only one person? Who on earth is this man? How dare you stop all the carriages in the palace? Leave the woman in the car and spare your life. A touch of extremely cold voice, into the ears of several people. I don't think you want to live. Somebody, take it for me. Thrown out of the father-in-law, angry, glancing at a orchid finger, Hate said. Suddenly, a touch of cold light twinkled the eyes of Cloud Dancing. When she opened her eyes 1 second later, more than a dozen bodyguards who rushed up had been killed and fell into a pool of blood. Cloud Dance star eyes tiny mi. A touch of blade cold on moment across the eye's bottom. This person has a kind of Warcraft breath, is a very subtle feeling. Cloud Dance can feel, this kind of breath is not his own. Instead, it seems to be formed over time with Warcraft for a long time. Blue talent, middle stage of whooshing, how can you? My father-in-law looked at the bodyguard who fell down in an instant. His eyes were staring with fear, pointing to the man who stammered and couldn't speak. Suddenly, the cold light came again. Blood spattered. In an instant, the father-in-law fell to the ground. Cloud Dance looked at this scene coldly, glanced at the dead father-in-law on the ground, then looked back at the man. The Mao light inside flits over a touch of chill, indifferent way. Who catches me? The man put his eyes as flat as a mirror on Yunwoo and said coolly, I have no malice. I just hope Miss Yunjio can follow me. The man's attitude was extremely respectful and his words were sincere. No malice? Cloud Dance sneers and glances at the bodyguard in the pool of blood. There's no malice against her, but she's demonstrating and threatening, isn't she? The cloud dances, the eye ground spreads scarlet, the remnant shadow fleets in an instant, attack toward that person. Well. Power whirl, sharp as a blade, a shadow was instantly hit fly, for a long time to stop. That person barely can still stand steadily, looking at Cloud Dance, sulky eyes, suddenly surprised. When he saw the shadow of Cloud Dance, he began to resist it, but it was not faster than her after all. Is it really as powerful as the legend? In that case, don't blame me for being rude. The man's face turned black and his eyes turned cold. Suddenly, he took out a whistle from his arms and blew it. All of a sudden, Yunwoo felt a strange smell. Her eyes suddenly lifted, thoughts spread, how can so familiar? When the whistle stopped, for Warcraft appeared around the man. Cloud Dance calm eyes, it seems that these Warcraft are tamed, but also with the original offensive, are 5-level Warcraft. Suddenly, the man's palm pushed, and 4 Warcraft danced towards the cloud in an instant. A vigorous, purposeful and strategic attack is like a deliberate training. The cloud dances the eye in a moment to brush over an undercurrent. Originally, is he? No wonder she thought, how so familiar. At the beginning, in Luoshui City, in the Warcraft forest on the outskirts of Murong's home, the Warcraft troops in the Warcraft training ground. It's Zhou Feiyu. He sent someone to stop her? But under the attack of the 4 Warcraft, Yunwoo's figure swept away and hid, but he could not help frowning again and glanced back at the man. Although the attacks of these Warcraft are swift and violent, they are not bloody. It can be seen that this man is not malicious. However, Cloud Dance's eyes are slightly cool. No matter what, she doesn't like being threatened. In this case, these Warcraft should also learn a lesson. Have fun. I'll go back first. The man looked at the Warcraft fighting with Cloud Dance, said a word, and left in the air. Cloud Dance Mao light sharp coagulate one eye that figure, so walked? Does he really think these Warcraft can stop her? Or is he deliberately delaying her time? The cloud dances, the eyes flash a little cool, the bloodthirsty sneer at the corner of the mouth appears, the black flame sword in the hand appears instantly, and the strong breath of power condenses all around. The dark purple air instantly envelopes the dagger, which is compatible with the black flame and is more and more burning. The cloud is waving a big knife, and its speed is like lightning. Who with the unique strong power of Degeo, we can gallop at a high speed. For a moment, Warcraft's body was cut open by a big knife, revealing a ferocious wound. Cloud Dance put the eye light on one of the Warcraft, and the essence light in the eyes flashed by. But at this time, the dragon roll in my mind is full of golden light, and suddenly a message flashes out. The ordinary level 5 spirit beast in the upper world contains elixir in its body. After eating it, it can improve its own spirit power, get along with other spirit beasts, and instantly recover its spirit power to the peak after being injured. When you get along with other spirit beasts, can you instantly restore your spirit power? This ability is still a little bit of what, however, if you think about a group of spirit beasts following you, you will feel very safe. Yunwu looks at the only Warcraft that has not been hurt by the sword chi, and the light of his eyes is more and more bright. This week, Feiyu's men have Warcraft in the upper world. Although it's a common level 5 Warcraft in the upper world, it's really rare to have such great spiritual power. So, unexpectedly all sent to the door, how can she just let go of the truth? The Warcraft's body is surrounded by dense spiritual power, just like a protective film, to block all attacks for it. I'll take the elixir of this good thing. The cloud dances the big knife a flash. In the eye peeps out the fine on that can't be pressed urgently. It seems that I'm really interested to have a quick try. What's the taste of the elixir of the spirit beast in the upper world? Just as Yunwu's broadsword roared away, the spirit beast roared and sent out a powerful spirit force, which immediately collided with the broadsword in Yunwu's hand. The cloud dances the Mao light tiny mi, she can feel the spirit beast's powerful, incredibly can compete with the big knife's own strength. It's really a good thing. The cloud dance water element wraps the dagger and stabs the spirit beast's defense with the dagger. A little bit of penetration, strong power condensation, that belongs to the water element and the power of the sword condensation, the whole half of the sky is a color. The spirit beast gradually resisted and began to slide back. Cloud Dance looks at spirit beast, Phoenix Mao tiny me rises. I can resist the joint attack of the two for so long, see if you can resist this. Suddenly, the cloud danced, and a dark purple light suddenly appeared, which immediately attacked the sword. Bang! A dull sound of impact kept turning. The spirit beast has been knocked down by the powerful force, struggling for several times, as if it can't get up, a pair of eyes staring at the cloud. Cloud Dance mouth died a touch of radiance, step by step toward the spirit beast. Can you resist? The spirit beast seemed to understand her, and her struggling body suddenly froze. The other three beasts, seeing that their companions had been beaten to flight, all of them, with their tusks in their arms, attacked steadily and flew like flying, and rushed to the clouds with ferocious momentum. Shwa! A black cold light across, jump in the air of Warcraft, figure meal, bang fell on the ground. The dust is flying, the breath is abrupt and sharp, the Warcraft on the ground is twitching, and the eyes looking at the clouds are extremely scared. Cloud Dance once again put the eyes on the spirit beast, died with a bloodthirsty smile, black flame across the sky, a wave of a fall, the hands have more than a crystal thing. Blood, dyed purple, red eyes. Cloud Dance looks at the elixir in the hand, eyes light mi. The elixir emits green light, just like an emerald. You can clearly see that the green spiritual power inside is constantly rotating, just like a continuous reservoir. This is the elixir? Cloud Dance takes the elixir back into the space, and the light of eyes passes by a touch of meditation. This is the elixir of a common level 5 spirit beast. It has the effect of quickly recovering from serious injuries. If it is the elixir of level 6, level 7 or even higher spirit beasts. Can you recover quickly as long as you don't die? Is it helpful to the evil body of dragon? Yunwoo glances at the spirit beast on the ground and takes the contemplative look. If this is the case, it would be great. However, Cloud Dance raises Mao to see to the father-in-law who has died. A cold frost appears on the face. It seems that we can't go to the palace today. Well, let's go back to Yunfu. Anyway, at this moment, there are still people watching in the dark, and they will naturally explain the whole story to the person they should explain. When Yunwoo returned to Yunfu, he found that the whole Yunfu atmosphere became a little dignified and depressed, and he could not help frowning slightly. What happened? Cloud Dance asks a servant girl. Miss Huijio, the emperor has just issued a decree, saying that the general used his power for personal gain and behaved suspiciously. He took back the talisman of the general. Now the general has. Cloud Dance listened to words, Mao Guang am I, turned round to walk toward Cloud Chi's room past. Using power for personal gain? Suspicious? It's funny to hear that. As soon as she saw Yunqi's room, she saw that Yunqi was lying in the pavilion at the door, so she quickly walked over. When Yunqi heard that someone was coming, he sat up. When he saw that it was Yunwoo, his eyes were very happy. Nine girl, didn't you go to the palace? Cloud Dance coagulates Yunqi's reaction at this time, and her eyes pass a trace of doubt. Thinking of the man who blocked the way, he nodded his head and said, I didn't go. I didn't go well, I didn't go well. Cloud Chi is pulling big voice, immediately happy smile. His happy appearance made Yunwoo more confused. It said that the emperor ordered to accept the military amulet of Yunfu? The cloud dances slightly to pick eyebrow. The Mao light flits past a cold on that is not easy to detect. Yunqi's face suddenly changed when he heard the words, and his smile gradually turned into anger. Lu Jiang won that bastard. He joined your father's book. The country leader's biggest fear is the people who rely on themselves to be too high and use their power for personal gain. In order to be on the safe side, he paid your father's talisman first. Now Yunfu is an ordinary house. The cloud dances the Mao light to pass a touch of cold doubt. Lu Jiang wins? Frost's father? Why did he do that? She has been wondering how Frost Zhe could be poisoned by ice cold when she was so young. Now think about it, if Lu Jiangwin did something, thus implicating the young Frost Zhe, it is not impossible. And the poison of Frost Zhe is the chip to control Lu Jiang to win. Who is the person who controls Lu Jiang and poisons Shuangzi? An idea flashed through her mind that this matter had something to do with Xueliu. However, as an important official in the court, Yunfu has always been loyal. How could he be cut off because of Liu Jiang's win? It's too hasty. There's only one possibility. The cloud dances the corner of the mouth to fling a cold smile. This result is the result that the emperor hopes. Lu Jiang's win, however, just happened to hit the emperor's heart, so the emperor pushed the boat with the current from ancient times to the present. The emperor's greatest fear is that the high achievers are superior to the masters. However, it seems that Yun Lingyi has not achieved the level of being superior to others. That is, Shi Yunwu glances at Yunqi, and her eyes light up. With Yunqi's shrewdness, he will not miss the emperor's reason for doing so, and he must know what the emperor is afraid of. If not, Yunwu sees nothing to do in Yunqi's eyes. Generations of loyal to serve the country, but in exchange for cutting power fear. Why not feel cold? However, for Cloud Dance, the Cloud family's heart, cold good. Cloud Dance back to the room. It's night. Looking at the clear moonlight, I can't help thinking. This naked power cutting has reached the point where there is no loyalty at all. Coupled with her reasons, it seems that there are only two ways to go in Yunfu in the future. Either fight back or die. Or she died. However, she always cherishes her life. It's impossible for her to die. But the Cloud family, she also gradually had cared about the person, wants to destroy the Cloud family, also absolutely impossible. The night was cold, and the pale moonlight lit up the dark sky, yellow. On the roof of Yunfu's house, more than a dozen shadows appeared to spy on the movement of Yunfu. Cloud Dance is now in front of the window. The sharp star eyes are dyed with the clear moonlight, The room is dark, under the moonlight, her figure is particularly hazy. More than a dozen shadow, see the patrol from the bodyguard. As soon as the figure was swept away, the sword was wielded. The sword was shining in the moonlight, whirling in the air, wiping the wind and howling, and attacking the bodyguard straightly. All of a sudden, there was a sound of swords touching each other. King. All of a sudden, there was a sound of swords touching each other. A touch of purple light soared down and cut off more than 10 sharp swords. Pa pa pa. The broken sword fell to the ground with a piercing sound. The patrolling bodyguards were suddenly surprised, and then they came back to their senses. Brush and draw out the sword in a moment to be on guard. However, when he saw the cloud dance, he was in a daze, but soon he called respectfully, Miss Nine. Miss Nine? When the man in black heard that the bodyguard called Miss Cloud Dance Nine, a look of surprise appeared in his cold eyes. Is she Miss Yunjiajio? The purple pupil girl the master has been looking for? Yunwu glanced back at the guards and motioned them to leave. The bodyguard nodded hesitantly, but did not leave, but stood not far away to watch, waiting for a fight at any time. Are you the saint of the witch race? The man in black, who took the lead, was cold in his voice. He looked at the black eyes of Cloud Dance, and the eyes were gloomy. Purple pupil, but black pupil. It turned out that the girl knew how to disguise. No wonder they couldn't find it all the time. But recently, it has been said that Miss Nine in Yunfu is the summoner, and the master has determined her identity, so it can't be wrong. Cloud Dance cold hold a smile. The question of the dead, is it necessary to answer? As soon as the man in black's face changed, he hummed coldly, Little girl, you are really big. Then give me your life. In an instant, the man in black took out his spare sword and attacked the cloud. The strength of these people in black is above the samurai, and even the martial saint, a dozen people. The cloud dances under the ground unusual overcast cold. This time, the people sent here really cost money. Cloud Dance doesn't have any hesitation, instantly summons Small Stink, Lan Yu, Bai Shuer, and Hongling. It's fun. Wow, so many delicious food, I want to eat a full meal. Master. Cloud Dance. After the 4 lights flashed out, Yunwu looked at them, and drew a cold and murderous tone in the corner of his mouth. Anyone who breaks into Yunfu today, don't let go of them, dead. See, Cloud Dance that words fall, Red Ling and Small Stink early excited eyes shine. Lan Yu and Bai Shuer are murderous. Yes, for Shouxing, extremely excited murderous. The next second, without waiting for those people in black to react from their astonishment, for figures had already rushed away. The ruthlessness of the fight is absolutely shocking. If someone else saw this scene, it would be possible for them to pee. The summoner of the 4th department? The news is true. This is a girl. It's a multi-department summoner. However, even though the assassins in black were frightened, they could only spare no effort. Otherwise, I'm afraid I have to explain it here. What a pity. Not for a moment. There are more than a dozen people in black, half of them are miserable, and their broken limbs and intestines are bloody. It's like a meat grinder fight. Let the rest of the people in black, one by one almost pale. On the other hand, the guards of the Cloud family, who were watching the battle, did not look at the scene in front of them or were scared. This is their Cloud 9 strength? It's 2, however, it is at this time. A servant girl covered her bleeding arm and ran over. Her face was pale. She looked at the Cloud Dance and cried, Miss Nine, something happened to the old master. Cloud Dance listened to words, eyes suddenly a lift, in the hand black flame big knife chili kill idea. Shwa. The purple and black fighting spirit poured into the broadsword and made a stroke in the air. A strong dark breath pierced the sky. A man in black was knocked to the ground in an instant. His chest had been cut off in half, and his internal organs were flowing out. The moment the man in black fell, a very cold angry shout spread, You clean up here. None of them. The voice just dropped. I didn't wait for the little stink to respond. The first mock exam of Cloud Dance suddenly blurred and disappeared instantly. When the servant girl and the bodyguard look at Yunwu again, Where is her figure? As soon as Yunwoo arrived at Yunqi's residence, he saw Yunqi fall to the ground and a dozen assassins stabbed him. Cloud Dance Maoguang suddenly a cold, black flame big knife break empty but go. Chong chong. The dagger just fell on Yunqi's chest, which blocked him from a fatal blow. More than a dozen long swords came against the black flame dagger on his chest, sonorous with a flame-like spark. 9 girls? Yunqi saw the moonlight in the air, and his eyes flashed a trace of joy. Cloud Dance twisted one eye. Cloud Chi pale facial expression, and faint breath, Phoenix Mao tiny mi, bloodthirsty scarlet thoroughly bloom in the dark night. How dare you hurt him? I want you to pay for your lives. A deep voice, like climbing out of hell, was so low that everyone could hear it clearly. All of a sudden, the whole sky seemed to be angry because of her anger. The clouds covered by the night turned into red clouds and burned half of the sky through the darkness. Such a change completely shocked the presence of those assassins in black. Can't help looking at the sky, eyes suddenly surprised. Then, glancing at the Cloud Dance, the surprise turned into panic. This is Miss Nine? What a powerful breath. But at this time, one of the men in black took advantage of the opportunity. Suddenly, he took out a dagger from his sleeve and quickly attacked Yunqi again. Cloud Dance eyes cold kill mi. Bang! A touch of dark purple fighting spirit suddenly hit on the knife. With a clang of the sword, the fighting spirit rebounded and dispersed, and the assassin was repulsed by this power for more than 10 steps. Yunwoo comes to Yunqi and helps him up. Looking at him sweating, pale, clouds cannot help flashing scarlet, cold and gloomy. Are you okay? He asked. It's okay. This old bone can hold on. The Cloud Chi Dynasty Cloud Dance relaxes a smile, but in the Mao light is to endure the facial expression of a silk ache. Cloud Dance naturally saw the abnormality in his eyes. All of a sudden, Cloud Dance in the heart of anger, wind up, around the chill to the freezing point, the night has condensed a bit. Yunwoo asks the bodyguard to take Yunqi down to heal. With a black flame sword in his hand, his cold eyes glance at the assassins. Who let you blood-wash Cloud Mansion? The sound of fury, like ice, reverberates in the night, which makes people feel trembling when they hear it. The assassin looked at the scarlet in Yunwoo's eyes. He was surprised for a second. He was shocked at the bottom of his heart. Does this look like a person? How to feel like an angry hell devil? Not really? Then go to hell with your loyalty. Cloud Dance roars angrily, and the power of evil bite in the body surges out with the full power of erosion. For a moment, the dark smell from the clouds around. The night under the clear moonlight falls into darkness. The assassin looked at the cloud dancing like ghosts. For a moment, he was so frightened that he could not move at all. No, I can't move. What's going on? The darkness was as black as ink, and there was a certain smell in the air, as if it had locked them one by one. At the moment of Cloud Dance, green silk like ghosts, a pair of star eyes with a different scarlet, it looks not only bloodthirsty and cold, but also a bit spooky. Master, didn't the master say she was a saint? Why don't you feel holy now? It's a kind of evil, dark, gloomy feeling, like a devil from hell. It makes people feel fear rising in their hearts. Suddenly, the assassin watched the cloud dance and tried to break away from the immovable situation. The breath of darkness, like a snake, divided into dozens and attacked the assassin. Shupu! The sound of the heart being penetrated still reverberates in the air. I saw that the black chest of more than a dozen assassins was full of dark air with the holes as big as fingers. There was a smell of corrosive blood in the air. More than a dozen assassins almost at the same time. The pupil continues to enlarge, unbelievable looking at the clouds. Is she people? Unfortunately, this doubt, even before they died, could not know. After Yunfu came, the bodyguard who stayed in the distance all the time couldn't close his mouth when he saw this scene. His eyes came from the assassin and moved to Yunwu's back again. Is that Miss Nine? Although we have heard the news that Miss Nine is the summoner of the birth of the Cloud family. She also said that she had excellent talent and martial arts skills. But is that too strong? In an instant he solved more than 10 people in black. In the face of people in black who are good at night, he was also killed. Is that too bad? And the dark power, the suffocating and gloomy fear. What is it? When Yunwoo stops killing, she immediately controls the power of magic bite. A moment later, the strange smell of darkness suddenly disappeared, and the night returned to its original color. Everyone was stunned again. This suddenly, Cloud Dance vaguely heard the sound of fighting in the front hall, and his eyes flashed a sharp edge. Miss 9. The bodyguard seemed to react at this time and remember that the Cloud family crisis was not the time to be in a daze. However, without waiting for the guard to call, the figure of Cloud Dance has long disappeared, leaving only a sharp whirl. The bodyguards looked in the air and were stunned again. But this time, they reacted quickly and chased them on foot with a knife in the courtyard outside the front hall. There were bursts of wails and groans. The bodyguards of Yunfu have injured more than 10 people, including 7 or 8 dead. And there are a lot of bodyguards who are resisting the attack of the assassins in black. But because in the dark, the assassin attack is always a sneak attack. In addition, the assassin's strength is above the samurai, and the bodyguards are too busy to take care of him. Cloud Dance looking at the ground of 7 or 8 corpses, deep eyes extremely sharp. Get out of the way! With a loud roar, the guards who were fighting with the assassins dodged to one side as soon as they saw that it was Cloud Dancing. In the next second, Yunwoo's sword, already dyed with the power of fierce Zizi, roared through the obstacles and attacked. Bang! There was a loud roar of the sword. In response, the man in black dodged and stepped back, barely standing firm. Dust, hazy vision, filled with the night. When the line of sight becomes clear. When people looked at the scene in front of them, they were all slightly stunned, wailing and groaning, which stopped in an instant, and they were strangely quiet. Only a half-meter wide gully separated the man in black from the guards of Yunfu. The gully was more than 1 meter deep, as if it had been deliberately polished by someone, and the two sides were extremely smooth. Everyone looked at the Cloud Dance, and their eyes were full of surprise. This is what she just hit by the sword, just sword chi. Can you cut such a domineering gully? How strong is Miss 9? The guards of the Cloud family looked at Yunwoo and her bloodthirsty and cold look, and their eyes were respectful to the gods. This is the 9th miss of their Cloud family. You all step back. Cloud Dance glanced at the bodyguards, eyes cold. Then, lift mouth to stare at the person in black, one eye, ice thorough way. Your master is who? Oh, you don't deserve to know the name of our master, is it? Cloud Dance mouth a yang, in the hand of the black flame big knife burning, step by step toward the man in black. Every step is like death. As if to tell them, your life, the deadline. The man in black looked at the figure that Cloud Dance was approaching, and he didn't know that he would step back. Her messy green silk is scattered in the wind. Under the moonlight, the cold and matchless face is even colder, and the bloodthirsty eyes are chilling. The assassin in black retreated almost subconsciously. But suddenly, a cold light passed by in the night. With a wave of the sword in Yunwoo's hand, the powerful force attacked him and cut off the head in front of him in an instant. Come on, that's very fast. Plasma splashed out, stained with the edge of the sword, also dyed with her awe-inspiring floating purple clothes. The man in black looked at the rolling head on the ground, and a look of surprise flashed in his murderous eyes. But in the twinkling of an eye, look a turn, a touch of cruel cold emerge. Almost in an instant, that group of people in black, immediately swift and violent hand, like hungry tigers and sheep, straight attack Clouds and go. Like a sneer from the corner of Cloud Dance's mouth, the bottom of his eyes is just a touch, which belongs to the killer's lust. For her, she is the most familiar and hot-blooded. Today, she will show them what is real killing. Blood-washed Cloud House, right? Then she let everyone know that Yunfu is not the place where they want to come. Come, leave your life. There was a twinkling of cold for almost a while. Blood, almost all over the ground. But the purple figure is like a meat grinder, and the assassins are the meat in the front row, no matter how they attack, assassinate, fight or attack. It seems that the end is the same. The guards of Yunfu, who had just stepped back, looked at the bloody, ferocious head, corpse, amputation on the ground one by one, their faces changed slightly. However, the hot blood in those eyes seemed to be ignited by this scene with incomparable horror and excitement. Looking at the falling man in black and the bloody purple clothes of Yunwoo, I completely forget the pain on my body. Miss 9. This is the 9th miss of their Cloud family. Smaller body, but holding a big knife. Killing people is like looking at turnips, one by one, unambiguous. However, that momentum was enough to shock everyone present. The whole courtyard of Yunfu is already full of blood, and the smell of blood is full of all people's senses. Yunwoo was dressed in purple, and now she was blood-stained and embarrassed, but she couldn't hide her cool and resolute breath. And the black flame broadsword on her hand has been completely baptized by blood, through the dense black flame, become a bit ferocious. Cloud Dance looked at the last man in black not far away, standing bloodthirsty and awe-inspiring, with a perfect arc in the corner of his mouth. "Who is your master?" After that, she lowered her eyes, raised the sword in her hand and touched the blood on it. The scarlet color on her eyes became deeper, with a touch of darkness. "To die." The assassin in black, who was still standing, saw all his comrades in the pool of blood. His eyes were ferocious and roared, and a sword came dancing towards the clouds. Cloud Dance Mao Guang a cold, the corner of the mouth slightly a yang. "It seems that you haven't realized yet." Shwa. A touch of cold passed by. The man in black jumped up in the air and stopped abruptly. In a twinkling of an eye, he saw that the man in black fell to the ground in an instant. People look at Cloud Dance hand knife fall, so natural and unrestrained, looking at Cloud Dance eyes, can't hide the horror. So many people in black don't even have the chance to make a move. They are like a doll, and they are free to be slaughtered by her. How high is her strength once upon a time? Miss 9 is so beautiful now. The bodyguards trembled again. Stunned Cloud Dance finally glanced at the man in black who fell on the ground, took the big knife back into space, looked back at the guards who were stunned behind, and said coldly, "Throw them into the wolf's nest." "Yes, Miss 9. The crowd responded quickly and nodded respectfully. Yunwoo has finished dealing with the assassins here, and Xiaoqiu has just dealt with the assassins from other places and returned. "Mama. Master." Looking at the four guys, they are all well, and Cloud Dance will let them return to the contract space first. "Now, it's better to hide some cards. You'll go back to your space for a rest. I'm afraid there will be a lot of trouble in the near future. I need your help at that time." Xiaoxika and Hongling are mischievous, but they are also very clever. All of a sudden, he didn't say anything, but immediately entered the space. And after Lan Yu sees Cloud Dance, he nods to her, changes into blue light, and enters the contract ring. Bai Shuer didn't say anything. She went back to space consciously. At this time, Yunwoo doesn't stop. He comes to Yunqi's room and meets the maid coming out of the room. "How's it going?" Cloud Dance glanced inside the room and looked back. Miss Huijio, the old master, didn't recover from the injury that day. Today, he used too much strength, which made the injury more serious. But it's no big problem. He just needs to rest and have a rest. The Cloud dances to smell speech tiny jaw head, the worried look in the eyes concealed to go down. "Miss 9, are you going in?" The servant girl looks at Cloud Dance body bloodstained spot, green silk disorderly float to scatter, some are embarrassed, probing to ask away. Cloud Dance Mao light tiny low, pondered for a while, lift Mao way, "Can't, take good care of grandfather." After that, Yunwoo turned away and disappeared into the night. Although her water element has healing power, her internal injury cannot be cured. The servant girl looks at the figure that she leaves. In the eyes eventually can't help but emerge a look of adoration. The news has spread. One man killed dozens of people in black and was unhurt. Is this Miss 9 the same old lady? Of course it can't be. It's just that she's only been away from the Cloud family for a few months, and she's become so powerful. It's amazing. Cloud Dance walking in the night, eyes clear, thinking about the context of this matter. "Xiaowu, there's another one here. You can put his head away too." In the night, a slightly smiling voice rang out. Yunwoo stops and looks up at the source of the sound on the tree. After seeing the person clearly, her eyes narrowed slightly, and the bottom of her eyes flitted by a trace of incomprehension. How could he be here? Xiao Wu, you look a little scary. Sidu Lan looked at the blood-stained cloud dance and shook his head slightly. But he thought in his heart that the guy's taste for women was really unique. The cloud dances a cold glance that Sidu Lan one eye. But then, his eyes turned to a black assassin who was hung on the tree by him, and his eyes narrowed slightly. The initial strength of Wuxing? The assassin in black, whose strength was in the early days of Wuxing, was hanged on the tree without dignity? What's more, there's no resistance, and it's just the most common rope that binds him. Cloud dance coagulates Situ Lan, and the light of eyes flashes by. How high is the strength of Situ Lan? Situ Lan touched Yunwoo's gaze, raised a warm smile and jumped down from the tree. He told me everything. It seems that he was instigated by some snow or willow, but I think there is someone behind him. The cloud dances and hears the words, and there is a trace of killing in the eye. Snow willow? It's her. She understood what Situ Lan meant. If it wasn't for someone behind him to wash the general's house, how could he have made such a mistake with Xuelyo's mind? Even if they dare to commit crimes, they can never be so blatant. Even if the cloud house has no real power now, it's not a small matter before the bloody wash of the general's house, is it? Cloud dance half squints a Mao Sun, seemed to have thought of the whole affair of the course of events. It's a chain reaction. What's the reference book? What's the most afraid of using power for personal gain? And the ultimate goal is now. Thank you for your information. I have something else to do. I'll leave this person to you to play slowly. Cloud dance glances at him, the corners of his mouth are tight, and turns around to leave. Well, what are you going to do? Sidu Lan looked at Yunwoo's leaving figure, and in a flash, blocked Yunwoo's way. Cloud dance tiny Siu eyebrow, star Mao flits past a wipe not to bear. Still have a matter? You're not going to kill that woman now, are you? Si-Tu Lan slightly picks eyebrow, some surprised of can't believe of looking at her. So what? Cloud dance did not understand of glanced at him, the eye ground of doubt emerge. How did he show up in Yunfu? By chance? Or did you get the news in advance? Maybe he's been following her secretly? Anyway, she didn't notice his appearance. This is really unpleasant. No sense of security. Sidu Lan looked at Yunwoo's suspicious eyes, and the corners of his mouth twitched. Don't think about it anymore. I just happened to pass by. Seeing that I needed help, I solved it by the way. By the way, he is an assassin of Wuxing. By the way, it's extremely easy to say. However, Cloud Dance didn't say much at this time. Yunwoo drew back her eyes and went on over him. Although the mood is not happy, but she is not stupid, with this Si-Tu Lan and Long Qingxie's understanding. It must be Long Qingxie who asked him to protect her secretly. But there is a problem that she has been very curious about. Situ Lan's martial arts strength is unpredictable, and he is the only successor of the Kingdom Oven. It goes without saying that he is powerful. How can you listen to the dragon? Situ Lan looked at Yunwoo's back, shrugged, and didn't stop him. Well, this woman is so cruel. The queen wants to wash Cloud House with blood. How can she not return it? Let her make trouble. At worst, she can handle it herself. Even if she can't handle it, isn't there him? He doesn't mind. Give him a reason. He raised a warm and evil smile at the corner of his mouth, and a phantom disappeared in Yunfu. In the middle of the night is quiet. In the back palace. What did you say? A cold voice broke the silence. Master, the people sent they were all killed. The leader who secretly monitors the action of the man in black trembles slightly. Waste. Snow Willow's sullen voice was filled with anger, and the chair nearby was smashed in an instant. Where is she now? However, without waiting for the man in black to answer, a sudden voice came. Here it is. Suddenly, a phantom came, and the strong smell of blood filled the bedroom hall. The purple figure walked towards the Snow Willow step by step. After seeing the Cloud Dance, the Snow Willow was shocked for a moment, and then sneered, I didn't expect you sent it to me. Yunwu looks at Xuelyo with a sneer. When passing by the assassin leader, his fingers move slightly. The figure of the man in black fell to the ground in an instant. The man in black pointed to the cloud dance and was surprised in his eyes. Then he vomited blood, dilated his pupils, struggled twice and died. Nothing seems to have been done. Didn't even feel a little murderous, just died? The snow willow pupil I suddenly am I. Cloud dance glances at the dead man in black. The corners of his mouth outline a perfect arc, and there is no other expression in his eyes. Looking back again, looking at the snow willow with a smile, I sent you to take your life. The snow willow smell speech, the facial expression suddenly a dark, all around of the dark breath instant sharp. Do you think you can go out after entering the palace? Snow willow beautiful eyes smile, cover the anger in the eyes, picked up the tea on the table and sipped. When I think of it, it's natural to get out. The cloud dances the Mao light to put on a cold idea to delimit, the corner of the mouth outlines of radian, more and more forest cold. It's a place where you can come in and come out as soon as you want. Oh! You said it was so dangerous, but didn't I come in safe and sound? Cloud dance cold hum Mao Guang Ishan, black flame big knife already appeared in the hand. The snow willow glanced at the cloud dance. When she saw the big knife in her hand, the bottom of her beautiful eyes passed by. How can she completely control the ancient martial art sword? However, Xuelyo quickly gathered his anger, put down his teacup, gracefully twisted the dust from the corner of his clothes, and suddenly came out with a long red sword. For eyes opposite, the collision of power instantly filled the whole bedroom. Almost in a flash. The clouds roared with the black flame sword, split in the air, attacked the snow willow, whirled with the strong power, and instantly attacked the whole palace. Snow willow red sword is strange and charming. It seems to be able to change its strength and size at will. When the two collided, it was the moment of volcanic eruption, the moment of spark and lightning, with two unique lights, lightning and thunder shining throughout the bedroom. And all this. They are all separated by the space boundary of cloud dance, so the guards outside the palace will not find out at all. They fought for a long time, but only tied. As a member of the dark family of the witch clan, Xuelyo's strength should not be underestimated. At the beginning, in the ruins of the Beast Gate, Yunwu nearly killed her with the third impact of awakening. This time, Yunwu is really fighting with her own strength. For Xuelyo's strength, she has a deep heart. So, this time, no matter what, Xuelyo's life is up to her. The cloud dances the cool Mao sun to stare at a snow willow, the corner of the mouth slightly outlines, with you play tired of your life I want now. Snow willow face suddenly Ain. Originally, she wanted to commit suicide. Yunwu was relieved, so she kept looking for her whereabouts, but she didn't think that this time, her strength rose again. God is so kind to her. The black fighting spirit of Snow Willow, dyed with a black fire, flies away in the air in an instant, with a fierce killing intention, burning the bedroom strongly. The cloud dance sees this, the corner of the mouth is cold yang, the eye ground is incomparably cold. Who without hesitation, with a wave of the big knife, he threw out the purple fighting spirit and cut straight at the Snow Willow. The Snow Willow's eyes suddenly shrank and her figure swept away. But still a step late, saw her that arm, had been black flame big knife cut a hole. Xuelyo looked at the bloody wound on her arm. Her eyes were fierce and dignified, and her killing intention suddenly rose all around, looking for death. Suddenly, her palm was empty, and the air flowed back. In the cloud dance not far away, I suddenly felt that my neck was half pinched by something. I couldn't move or breathe at all. I strangled my neck with fierce strength and felt suffocated. Snow Willow beautiful eyes smile of some ferocious. Looking at the cloud dance, her eyes were dark, and her strength on her hand increased continuously, and her smile spread. Do you know what I want to see most all the time is to watch you die in pain and struggle bit by bit. If it's not for the bloodline your mother left you, you think you can live to 15 years old. You're a bastard and dare to fight with me. Snow Willow's voice died with extremely sharp cold. However, it also has at this time is about to pull out the heart of the thorn comfortable. Is that right? Cloud Dance eyes quietly staring at the snow willow, mouth light up. However, it is at this time. Yunwoo suddenly closed his eyes slightly, gave up the struggle, did not move, looked like waiting to die. The snow willow looks at the appearance of Cloud Dance, a smile. The corner of Dark Mang's mouth in ruthless hook, the strength on the hand increases again. I want to break Yunwoo's neck. Suddenly, Yunwoo opens her eyes again. In the cold purple eyes, there is a black mist. The dark eyes are like the bottomless black abyss, which makes people unable to look directly at them. With a touch of horror. She can't move her eyes? What's going on? Snow willow pupil eye a shrink, eyes suddenly a surprised, looking at the cloud purple-black pupil eye, face suddenly a change. What's the matter with this dark smell? How could she have such a strong sense of suffocation and swallowing? How could she know how to control the mind? However, in the next second, in Shuelyo's surprised purple eyes, a touch of darkness was suddenly reflected. Ah! Shua bang! With a scream, swallowing breath, as if in an instant hit. Shuelyo whole person was thrown out in an instant, the whole person was thrown under the table trembled and fell to the ground. Half a ring! Snow willow reluctantly stood up in the ruins of the table, mouth overflowing with blood, looking at the clouds of a flash of purple eyes, there is surprise and anger. Do you know how to control the mind? And what about the dark power in you? Cloud Dance cold a smile of some irony. This snow willow knows the imperial mind skill, and it is estimated that she has been in contact with it. But does she think she can see the magic power of her body unless she wants her to see it? The dead don't need to know the answer. The voice of Cloud Dance, with a strange sneer. Shuelyo's eyes are full of anger. Today, I'll show you what a dead man is. Snow willow ferocious voice of fall, almost no hesitation, the figure has been rapid. Cloud Dance hit. Cloud Dance looks at the shadow like a mirage, the corner of the mouth slightly a hook, purple pupil in the dark reappear. I really want to see it. A very light voice, however, the words just fell. Brush. Suddenly, the magic power burst out from the Cloud Dance. Suddenly, the whole palace fell into darkness. At that moment, the figure of Shuelyo was wrapped in it. As if he had found something, he quickly went into the snow willow. In a moment, all the dark forces in the palace gathered on the snow willow. The power of magic bite is beyond anyone's imagination. Suddenly, the scream of snow willow resounded. Cloud Dance's eyes flashed a trace of cold, looking at the darkness, a bloodthirsty smile was blooming at the corner of his mouth. She said that she owes her, sooner or later, she will pay back 100 times 1,000 times. This snow willow is just the first one. Situ Lan, who had been hiding in the corner, saw this scene, and his mouth was slightly crooked. It seems that his worry is superfluous. This woman is more terrible and powerful than he imagined. Then Situ Lan's figure disappeared into the night. Inside the palace, the dark power disappeared in mid-air, and the figure of Snow Willow suddenly fell to the ground like a pool of soft mud. By candlelight, her dark and beautiful face, now sweating, pale as paper, dressed in a golden phoenix robe, was torn by the dark forces, and there was a blood mark in every wound. The Snow Willow looks at the Cloud Dance, a pair of beautiful ruthless creepy. You, how can you have evil bite? She has seen the power of magic bite, but shouldn't it have been taken away by the little lord? What happened to her? Besides, she seems to be manipulating it. Smell speech, Cloud Dance as if heard what funny sound, cold awe of smile. You know a lot, but I remember when you said that the more you know, the faster you die. Suddenly, the moment that the voice of Cloud Dance falls. Brush. The figure disappeared in an instant. When she blinked again, her figure appeared again, as if the moment when she disappeared was just an illusion. Not bad. At this time, the situation seems to be reversed. In the quiet and bloody dormitory, the grim and awe-inspiring killing intention is frightening, and the rapid and cold breathing sound is constantly whirling. Snow Willow looked at his chest, fist so big hole, beautiful eyes Jing ran. At this time, she didn't feel any pain at all. She just looked at the penetrating chest. Snow Willow, that pair of fierce eyes, a no reaction. Blood flowed down the golden phoenix robe, blooming with a bloody scarlet. You! Snow Willow Daime, a coagulation, cold eyes, pain shrinking, unbelievable, looking at the clouds, like to see a night death. The noble and beautiful figure fell to the ground with a thump. After that, there was no movement, charming and plain eyes, no focus to look at the clouds. Until the last moment, she could not believe that she had died in her hands. In such a ferocious and miserable way the cloud dances the corner of the mouth, the sharp sneer does not reduce, will the evil bite power control, finally coagulates one eye of the Snow Willow, disappeared in the bedroom. Quiet night, quiet bedroom, no exception, but revealed a very bloody taste. After Yunwu left, on the huge imperial palace wall, a shadow that is completely consistent with the night suddenly appears. The dark shadow looks at the figure leaving the cloud dance. The air around is fierce and cold. She's the witch awakening girl? It's not to be underestimated. After sneaking out of the palace, the sky was slightly pale, and a sudden cloud appeared at the intersection of the sky. Cloud danced out of the palace, did not immediately go back, but came to a mountain, standing on the top of the mountain, looking at the clouds in the distance, eyes swept a touch of meditation. Zhou Batyin is extremely afraid of Yunfu. He wants to get rid of Yunfu completely with Xueliu's hand. In the end, though, his goal was not achieved. But this matter, whether it is achieved or not, is good for him. This weak Batyin, far less ignorant than the eyes of outsiders, he estimated that he had been worried about Xueliu for a long time. Therefore, Xueliu's death may have helped him instead. However, Zhou Batyin will soon know that she killed Xueliu. It's hard to guarantee that he won't take advantage of this incident to completely destroy Yunfu. Of course, there may be no evidence to prove that she killed Xueliu, but for a political emperor, why is it difficult to find an excuse? It seems that we need to take some protective measures in advance. Neither can Zhou Batyin feel that Yunfu is resisting, nor can he feel that Yunfu is a place where he can move whenever he wants. Thoughts drift by. Cloud dance tiny a lift Mao, instantly thought of that red fire dragon in forbidden area. The corner of the mouth can't help but hook up. Isn't there a ready-made guardian? When he thought about it, Yunwu could not help but feel back and get the red fire dragon out. However, just when Yunwu wants to turn around and leave, a strange smell suddenly appeared around her. Cloud dance put down a foot, eyes raised to see a certain direction. A touch of scarlet cold swept by. Come all the time. I've been with you all night. Why hide your head and show your tail? Her voice fell. A dark figure came quietly and stood behind her. Yunwu felt an extremely strange smell behind him, and his hair stood up, which was a kind of unspeakable and gloomy oppression. It was the first time that she felt this way since she came to mainland China. Even the breath on the ice of that ink night never made her feel so strange and oppressive. Cloud dance lifted her eyes and turned around. A strange wind blew across her cheek. With a sharp chill, it hurt her skin. Looking at the figure not far away, Cloud dancing eyes swept a touch of surprise. Is it human? Surrounded by dark and black haze, the whole person is completely consistent with the haze, except for a pair of eyes like an eagle. No other facial features can be seen. One is similar to Hayo, but completely different. Strange as he, let Cloud dance feel some bottomless for the first time. However, a thin camel is bigger than a horse. No matter how tough a man is, he has his weakness. As long as he is a little tough, he will always be favored. Witch Saint, you are still alive. A light voice came into the Cloud's ear, which was like a breeze, calm and without waves, but with a sharp cold. In that moment, Yunwu felt a slight change on her arm. She dropped her eyes slightly and was shocked. A scratch appeared on the purple clothes. She clearly knew that the scratch was caused by the sound just now. Sharp power in the sound? Who on earth is he? We don't seem to know each other. Cloud dance eyes flash a trace of vigilance, squinting at the man, cold mouth. She knew she had asked a stupid question. This person came to her and called her saint. Then it must be because of the witch clan 15 years ago. She doesn't know him. It's normal. But touching the man's strange dark eyes, Yunwoo seemed to feel that there was nothing to say to him. I don't know, but I'm going to kill you. In a word, make their position clear. Kill her? It turns out that many people want her life. This time, who sent it? Cloud dance micro frown, eyes a squint, mouth stained with a smile. Oh, want to kill me too many people, how many do you count? That person hears speech, seemed to dance to the cloud that arrogant tone, but feel a haze. See, the fog and haze around stop for a moment, and then strange together, finally into human form. It's a ghost-like person with gray eyes, pale face and dark lips. The whole person is like a ghost living in the dark. It feels like a ghost in the daytime. Cloud dance raised eyes to see a tiny white half sky, eyes mi. If this person lives in the sun, no matter where he goes, he will be regarded as a monster. However, at this time, he didn't seem to give Yunwoo that chance. Suddenly, a long sword came in the air, not fast, but with a strange power that could not be ignored. Cloud Dance's eyes passed a frost, and her figure flashed and dodged a blow. At the moment of relaxation, the haze sword suddenly turned and attacked Cloud Dance again. She hides and the sword turns again. Once, twice the cloud danced in the air, and his eyes glanced at the man. Suddenly, the black line floated on his forehead. I saw that the man just moved a middle finger, commanding the haze sword, and chased Yunwoo around. It can be seen that the strength of this man is much higher than that of Xuelio. Damn it. Suddenly, Yunwoo's eyes were covered with scarlet, and the sword in her hand was cut away in the air. With her fierce anger, she was struck by force. She doesn't like to be so passive. The man was frivolous, and the powerful power of the sword was dodged by him. The cloud dances, the eye ground passes a touch of surprise. Just hide? Like walking in a leisurely court, escaping her powerful attack? Give you a chance, since you can't hurt me, I'll kill you. The voice, like a ghost, was buzzing again. Opportunities? Cloud dance Mao Guang mi, the corner of the mouth bloodthirsty radiant rises, that try to see. Two of the dark breath flying away, with their own strong, split air chopping flow. Bang! In an instant, the dark power of magic bite collided with the haze darkness, and there was an instant roar. The ground also seems to have a burst. Cloud dance is affected by the aftereffect of the strong power, and the body takes off and goes back a few steps. Poof! She felt the chi and blood churning in the danton. A smell of fishy and sweet came out of her throat, and a mouthful of blood spurted out. The cloud dances, the light of the eyes narrows slightly, and the undercurrent surges in the bottom of the eyes. The turbulence of spiritual power in her chest seems to be due to the collision of haze power, which seems to be much greater than she imagined. She wiped the blood from the corner of her mouth, stood up and raised an evil radiance. That person sees Cloud dance to stand up. The eye son of the Een evil also flits past, a put-on surprised, twinkling of an eye namely die. The strength of his body can isolate the strength of the other side from his own. Few of the people who have been hit by this attack are still alive. She was affected by both forces. Not only did she not die, but she could still stand up even in the upper bound. Such people are rare. It's kind of interesting. Who is going to kill me? Anyway, I'm not your opponent. Why don't you let me die? Cloud Dance's eyes narrowed slightly, coagulating that person. She wanted to know who was the one who wanted to kill her this time. This person's strength should be above Mo Yebing, not under Mo Yebing. She really can't figure out, besides that Snow Willow and Mo Yebing, who else wants her life behind her back. No comment. The man's dark eyes moved, the palm turned, a black haze hit again, but the speed is not several times faster. Cloud Dance eyes a cold, palm flames suddenly rise, straight toward the black haze hit. After the burning flame, the element of water suddenly appears, boom. With a loud crash. Two figures at the same time back a few steps, the man also faltered a few steps or stand firm. And Cloud Dance, half kneeling on the ground, sweating. That person coagulated a cloud to dance one eye, The appearance is a little embarrassed. The eyes of the evil sun is slightly dark, on the body dark haze breath, put on a layer of killing intention. I didn't expect you to be a girl, but you are really cunning. Cloud dance Mao Guang am I, the corner of the mouth raises to put on a sneer, Sinhan Wei. You all want my life, cunning for a while, excessive? Then give up your life. Suddenly, the man's arms crossed, and the smell of darkness and haze spread instantly. In a flash, everywhere the haze goes, the stones turn into foam. At this time, the sky has been lit up. A group of geese flying in mid-air, into the black haze, but directly into the ashes. What a powerful force to destroy. Cloud Dance looks at the destructive power of the dark haze, and a touch of surprise passes by. What is this amazing destructive power? Cloud Dance quickly set up a space boundary to resist the erosion of black haze. The fire element dye the body, and through the space boundary, it can break into the haze. Bang! With a loud bang, the fire element was swallowed back. Almost didn't give Cloud Dance reaction come over her. That purple figure is hit by the fire element of reverse bite, instantly fly. Disorderly in the rocks, constantly beating and rolling. Blood along the scratch all the way attack die, and finally hit a boulder, rebound stopped. Pain Cloud Dance supports the vague consciousness. The first feeling is the hot pain. This appearance of embarrassment, at the moment some more miserable, purple ragged, blood dye purple, has been unable to tell whose blood. Cloud Dance is lying on the ground, covering the chest to want to break out of what power, pale and twisted. The power in the body, as if to encounter some impact in general, constantly resist. For a moment, she seemed to have a sense of powerlessness in falling into the abyss. Can't resist, can only bear. Long Qingxie, who is far away in Longshu Kingdom, covers his chest, his mouth is overflowing with blood, and his eyes are filled with deep and panic. Did Moyao resist her? Is she in big trouble, damn it? At this time he was not with her. Protect her as fast as you can for me. Dragon Qing evil scarlet eyes, low roar. Yes, I don't know where a respectful voice came from. Long Qingxie's eyes were scarlet and bloodthirsty, and he sat on the ground with a look of pain, reading something in his mouth. After a while, his face became more and more pale, sweating as if he was suffering a lot, but he was stubborn and refused to let go. How are you doing, girl here? Bai Lao feels the pain of Cloud Dance and wakes up. Cloud Dance can't use mind at all, and can't answer Bai Lao's words. Her eyes closed, bean like sweat fell on the gravel, and her blood fusion, a cold face as white as snow. Bai Lao quickly used his spiritual power to help her control the power in her body. But the power of Moya is beyond his control. Bai Lao persisted for a while. Although it worked, his spiritual power also consumed a lot. Girl, the opponent may be a person in the upper bound. The ability is above you. You are not his opponent. I will use the last strength to control the strength in your body, and you will take the opportunity to escape. Yunwu couldn't speak, but she listened to Bai Lao's words. People in the upper world? Before, she had heard from Gao Song, Shangjie. Although it is not clear what the upper bound is about, it is definitely more powerful than that in this human realm. Just look at the power of the ordinary spirit beast in the upper world not long ago. We can see the difference between the upper bound and the lower bound. Just, what did the upper bound people do when they came to the mainland of China? Bai Lao's own spiritual power gathered in one place to help Yunwu control Magic Bite, only to find that it only played an instant role. And the black pride in the Chaos Hall is also ugly at this time. Because he found that his power was not only unable to help her control, but also eroded by the evil power. Girl, I want to guard Dantian. In the mind, is echoing the black arrogant voice. Cloud Dance has no way to respond, so it can only hasten to guard Dantian. But the effect is obvious, not much effect. The white old man in the necklace frowned slightly, and his breath was weak. He said, I tried my best, but I still can't help it. Now I can only rely on him. What about him? Who is he? Yunwu wanted to ask, but found that the mind could not convey the past. She felt that the strange haze power on the man behind her was approaching her, with a strong sense of killing and coldness. She wanted to move, but found that the pain in her body did not allow her to move. It won't be here, will it? Cloud dance Mao light dark heavy, in the heart but secretly swear, if she can restore strength, she certainly beat to fly him. Even if it can only hurt him a scar, she will never escape. It's over. Suddenly, the dark haze, with strange power, came back to the cloud dance bang. The sound of boulders breaking. With the loud noise dispersed, gravel flying, dust rolling, the black haze figure instantly flew out. In the dust, I saw a purple figure standing aloof, green silk attack ran, eyes scarlet looking at the black shadow flying out, mouth dyed Shura smile. At this time, she exudes a dark atmosphere that does not belong to her, filled with her cool figure, abrupt but harmonious. But just now that person is hit flies dozens of meters, falls awkwardly on the ground, looks at the distant cloud dance. The evil eye sun reveals a touch of disbelief. She actually devouring the power of his blow? How is that possible? But looking at the dark haze from Yunwu, it's really his power in the blow just now. He clearly saw that there was something powerful in her body that was making trouble. With her present strength, it was impossible to control that thing. How could he have the strength to fight back against him? Yunwu looks at the completely flat power in her body and frowns slightly. What's going on? The first second, she still felt the unbearable feeling of bursting. The second after that feeling completely disappeared, and the power came back. It seems that in addition to the pain on the surface of the body, there is no pain in the body. Cloud dance squints eyes, there is a touch of uneasy premonition in the heart. Is it suddenly, her eyes suddenly a Lin, eyes such as blade, looking at the distance of the shadow. Incomparably cold way, look, only killed you, just enough this. Oh. The man not far away gave out a smile. Then, he saw the man stand up, eyes dark. I'm looking forward to experiencing the moment of death. Yes? That's what you want. With a cold voice, the black flame dagger attacked fiercely. Cloud dance is like a shuttle. She feels that the power of magic bite in her body can be used better. The man's pupil narrowed. It seemed that for the first time he really faced up to the opponent of Yunwu and used his real skills. Clang clang. The impact of the two forces and the spread of the afterwave broke many rocks around. After dozens of moves, they were tied. The man looked at the cloud in doubt, and his eyes were surprised again. She was in the early stage of Wuzuan, but he was in the middle stage. Although there was only one stage difference, there was an obvious gap in strength. What's more, he's a man in the upper world. Can this girl draw with him? Is it because of her blood? Or, according to legend, she has a lot of advanced martial arts talents? Either way, she can't keep it. The opposition between the two dark bodies is doomed to have only one standing. It's just 1 second when the man is meditating. Yunwu's eyes were extremely cold. He turned the black flame sword in his hand and waved it to him with 5 elements of wind, wood, water, fire and earth. The man was startled and swept away. He thought that with his strength, he would be able to avoid the blow. But did not expect, swept to the mid-air body, was hit by something, suddenly bounced back. Just hit by Yunwu's powerful sword and 5 elements. Cloud dance looked at the figure falling to the ground, slightly stunned. What's going on? Someone else ran away and ran into him? This guy's not stupid, is he? After all, she found that the anomaly that bounced him back was the boundary of space. The cloud danced to sweep One-Eye Mountain Peak all around, didn't discover what person, slightly frown, in the Mao light flit over a cloud of suspicion. Who helped her with the border? The 5 elements plus the power of the sword, not to mention the people in the upper world. Even the people made of iron can't stand the strike of hitting the viscera steadily. I saw the man fall to the ground, face ferocious, pain curled up. The cloud dances coldly and arrogantly to stand at that person's top, sidelong at him one eye. The corner of the mouth is sketching the smile of a touch of creepy. The black flame big knife in the hand is cold light. Take a word for me and say, this is a big gift I gave him. Let him give me a good. Cloud dance roared, picked up the big knife, put the tip of the knife in the position of the man's heart, The smile of the corner of the mouth was more and more cold. You. The man looked at the clouds, the eyes of the evil looking at her unbelievably. What else did I want to say, but cloud dance mao light tiny am I, sneer way, all the way good. She raised her hand high and gave it a good shake. King. The cold light of the sharp edge passed by, and the trembling sound of the sword's clang landing refused. The man raised his head and looked at the black flame sword on his chest. His eyes were dull and stiff. He moved his eyes to Yunwoo. You are really a wizard. He did not speak. Bang, head fell to the ground. That pair of stiff eyes still reflected the cloud blood attack purple figure. On the top of the mountain, the sun is shining. That spread blood, some embarrassed figure, still in a proud and cool attitude, overlooking the sky of China. She's okay. Let me take a message. It's a big gift from her to make you well. The voice of the void rings again. Dragon inclined evil eyes a smile, spread out the palm, looking at the power of ascension, pale lips stiff pull out a evil smile. This little thing is always in trouble all night. Yunwoo killed many people. When she came back to Yunfu in the air, everyone looked at her purple clothes dyed into blood red. They all widened their eyes, but they didn't dare to ask. Yunwoo doesn't bother to pay attention to it. She washes herself with water, changes into a clean white dress, and goes back to the room to sleep. After a busy night, she needed to catch up on sleep. In particular, the out of control of this magic bite made her body need great strength. When I woke up again, it was noon. And the queen was assassinated by assassins, has been widely spread. 9 girls. Yunchi knocks on the door of Yunwoo room. Yunwoo frowned slightly, but he still got up and opened the door. When he came in, he said, "What's the matter, grandfather?" Cloud Chi looks at Cloud Dance. A pair of sharp eyes pass by a touch of worry. 9 wenches, is the business of the imperial palace that you do? What's the matter? Cloud Dance slightly pick eyebrow to see to Cloud Chi, picked up the tea on the table to sip. It's about the queen being killed. Seeing that Yunwoo didn't admit it, Yunchi couldn't help frowning. He quickly sat opposite Yunwoo, and a loud voice began to ring. Yunwoo glanced at him and frowned slightly. This old man, with such a loud voice, is he afraid that others will not hear him? Yunchi also felt a little loud. He glanced back at the door, looked at Yunwoo again and lowered his voice. Are you? Well, if so, what's grandfather going to do? Cloud Dance put down the teacup way. Cloud Chi smell speech facial expression is instantly iron green. Really is you? Cloud Dance see this, not from Mao Guang am I, he this is angry? Do you know how powerful the demon queen is? Go alone. What if something goes wrong? Next time there is such a dangerous thing, please call your grandfather. Yunchi's eyebrows are horizontal, and he stares at Yunwoo with anger. Cloud Dance. Is that why he came to her in a hurry? And then it's like this? However, to be honest, her heart was warm when she heard this. At least, the old man really cares about her. Just, see Cloud Chi this full face really angry appearance. Cloud Dance can't help but pull the corner of the mouth, the eye bottom but flit a silk helpless sigh of shake head. It's said that it's dangerous. How can we still pull him? It is estimated that the news of Shuelyo's death has been known all over the city, and the palace will be the most turbulent one. Zhou Feiyu, who has been blocked by her, has lost one of her most difficult opponents. The Crown Prince Zhou Tianyu, without one of the biggest backers, is the most cost-effective one. Zhou Feiyu is deep and shrewd, holding a heavy hand. Although Zhou Tianyu also has a plan, he is just a cage bird. How can he fight Zhou Feiyu, the soaring eagle? The final result seems obvious. However, Zhou Feiyu also has a thorny problem of people's will. If he wants to be righteous and seize power, he must win people's support. Naturally, the power of the Cloud family will not be included. Now, in addition to himself, the most valuable thing in the court is that Lu Jiang has won. But Cloud Dance can be sure that Zhou Tianyu is the winner of Lu Jiang, so it still needs some opportunities to win. The Cloud dances to hook up the corner of mouth, in the eyes peeps out a fine on. What she was most worried about was the loyalty of the Yunfu family to serve the country. What she wanted to do was to estimate what national interests would conflict in the future. Isn't it an opportunity for Yunfu to be cut off? In this way, she was less worried. Yunwu went out of the window and sniffed the fragrance of flowers in the breeze. He was a little relieved. He didn't know what happened to Longqingxi. Does magic bite affect his body? However, it's no use worrying too much at this time. She needs to finish these trifles and help him. She slightly raised the corner of her mouth. Should come? Miss 9, the emperor asked you to come to Zuixinlu. At this time, the voice of the servant girl came in outside the door. The cloud dances the Mao light one am I. Come of return really quick. I see. Xuelio's death, it is estimated that the happy person is the emperor who is her husband. Although I don't know why Zhou Batian, who is clearly afraid of the queen, has spoiled her for so many years, there must be something unknown to outsiders. However, this time Xuelio's death, I don't know whether it helped him to relieve his heart trouble? Or did it upset his plan? Or let him start to worry? The Cloud family has her as a summoner. If it can't be collected, it's estimated that after this meeting, the Cloud family will be completely classified as a forbidden area no longer trusted. This is the result she wants. Zuixinlu, VIP room on the second floor. When Yunwu came into the room, Zhou Batian was the only one in the room. Your Majesty, are you looking for me? The cloud dances slightly, but it is neither humble nor overbearing. Zhou Batian put down his teacup, looked at Yunwu and motioned her to sit down. Did you hear about the queen? Zhou Batian looked at Cloud Dance dimly inside. Cloud Dance tiny jaw head, drooping eyes light way, just heard the rumor outside. It's not a rumor that the queen has gone, so that's one of the reasons why I asked you to come. Zhou Batian frowned slightly and his face was dark. The cloud dances the Mao light to pass a doubt, tiny pig eyebrow. Why are you looking for me? Why did the queen come to her when she died? What do you mean? What are you doing with her? She didn't think that he came to her because he had evidence that she had killed the queen. The queen is dead, and the position of mother of a country is vacant. Yuer's heart is all on you. I want to take you as my daughter secretly. When the time is ripe, you will get married. In this way, it's a happy event for the Zhou dynasty. When Yuer ascends the throne, the position of mother of a country is also filled. Isn't it the best of both worlds? Zhou Batian finished, sipped a cup of tea, raised his eyes and looked at the cloud dance. His eyes were mild and seemed to ask her what she meant. The darkness of his eyes was indisputable. What about Dragon 3? Cloud dance Zheng for a moment. The Mao light flits past a cold light, secretly sneer. Didn't he marry them both? Now back or cramp? The mother of a country? There are more than 1,000 women in the harem. Anyone who wants to be the mother of a country needs such a lot of trouble? After all, it's for the sake of the country of the Zhou dynasty, for the sake of completely tying her to the Zhou dynasty, for the sake of the country. Not even the least face. It's also very hard, but she really did not expect that Zhou Batian would think of giving marriage. Long San has returned to the state of Long Su. That's the prince of Long San in the state of Long Su. He's no longer a member of the Zhou dynasty. Naturally, the daughter of the general of the Zhou dynasty can't get married with Long Su. What do you think? Zhou Batian glanced at the cloud dance with a gentle smile, but his eyes were extremely deep. The cloud dances the Mao light to pass a touch of meditation. This is to force her to choose between Zhou dynasty and Long Su Gua. It seems that the purpose of his calling her here is very obvious, that is to let her choose a position. If you choose him, Yunfu will recover her rights, and she will be promoted step by step. Choosing Long Shugua, Yunfu is in crisis, and she is in constant danger. In this position, she made a choice a long time ago, and now everything she does is for that choice. He wants the Cloud House crisis, and she is happy to see it succeed. I'm sorry that Yunwu can't obey. Thank you for your kindness. Yunwu has retired. Yunwu leaned slightly, didn't look at Zhou Batian, turned and left the room. He could almost imagine Zhou Batian's angry face when he heard her reply. What you don't get is ruined. Zhou's plan to dominate the world is either Yunfu or her. The cloud dances the Mao light to slightly where the fine on, hook the corner of mouth, all the way out drunk fairy building. Zhou Batian frowned and his eyes were dark and angry. He has guessed that Xueliu was killed by Yunwu, but because there is no evidence, he can't do anything about her. Originally, if she agreed to play for the Zhou dynasty, it would be written off. Now it seems that Yunwu returns to Yunfu and sneaks directly into the forbidden area. If she wants to leave the Zhou dynasty and go to Longshu country, she should have no worries and protect Yunfu first. Yunwu came to the forbidden area, inspected the surrounding area, and dropped his eyes with a smile. When she first came to the forbidden area, she always thought it was very strange, but she didn't expect that after several times, she didn't feel much. Yes, she is no longer the weak fork. In the passage, she soared all the way over the cannibal vines in the forbidden area and went directly to the underground palace space where the red fire dragon was imprisoned. Just a space near the red fire dragon's nest. Cloud Dance felt a strong burning feeling, her mouth stained with a smile, into the space. At this time, the red fire dragon was sleeping in the open space beside the melting pool. The whole space in the hall was full of its purr. The cloud dances the corner of the mouth to stir up a smile, jump up in the air, dragonfly drops on the red fire dragon's back. Maybe it's because Cloud Dance's strength is greatly increased at the moment, and the hidden breath is too light, or maybe it's because red fire dragon stays here all the year round, and its vigilance has declined. Anyway, the red fire dragon didn't feel her existence at this time. Cloud Dance quietly a smile, blow fingers, a pinch on the red fire dragon's ears. Ah, who dares to pinch my ear? In his sleep, the red fire dragon suddenly woke up with pain and screamed. But soon, suddenly, I felt someone around my neck and roared again. Who is it? Dare to ride on my neck? Get out of here! Cloud Dance looks at red fire dragon's irascible temper and laughs, but it still doesn't come down. Red fire dragon angry, a howl, the whole space in a moment of turbulence. Who? I'm going to kill you. I hate people riding on my neck. Cloud Dance slapped on the red fire tap and said with a smile, I said, Brother Long, who will help you to untie the seal if you kill me? Red Fire Dragon is the voice of Cloud Dance. The voice of Fury suddenly stopped, constantly crazy swing body also stopped. Did he hear right? Is she really back? You finally came back to me. The Red Fire Dragon was stunned for a few moments and roared again. This time, however, it was not as tyrannical as the previous two times, and his body was no longer swinging back and forth. Cloud Dance Maoguang Mi, stretch out palm, Pennsylvania G again gave him brain door sun once, cool way. I came back you still roar what roar. The red fire dragon jumped up again. Slightly angry sound of the dragon once again sounded, hit my head, believe it or not, I ate you. Eat me? Cloud Dance Mao light tiny Mi, a hand once again grasped red fire dragon's ear, cold way. You a violent temper can really don't change, you eat me, eh? Red Fire Dragon Pain ZZ yelled, also did not just that crazy swing action, just angry roar, you dare to pull my ear. Cloud Dance mouth slightly yawn, floating down from the Red Fire Dragon body, hands around the chest of the coagulation Red Fire Dragon, lazy natural and unrestrained. Red Fire Dragon looked at the Cloud Dance, eyes suspicious. It can feel her calm breath, and when she first came in, it was totally earth-shaking. Your strength is Wu Zun Red Fire Dragon. Some doubts of coagulate Cloud Dance. In the eye many one's silk expectation and hope, but performance of a pair of don't believe appearance. She just left a few months, her strength broke through to Wu Zun? How talented is this girl? Cloud Dance ignores it to query a vision, tiny jaw first way, otherwise you think I come to do what? Red Fire Dragon smell speech, look instant change, can't believe of looking at Cloud Dance. Unexpectedly you now of strength already break through Wu Zun, that you should be able to break this seal? There is a undercurrent in Yunwu's eyes. It should be okay to break it, but, although my strength has reached Wu Zun, I can do my best to help you open the prison now, but I need a contract agreement in exchange to break the Millennium imprisonment. Cloud Dance looking at Red Fire Dragon, lazy to pay attention to its surprised eyes, directly to the point said, Contractual agreement? The red fire dragon takes back the surprised eyes and stares at the cloud dance for a long time. It seems to be thinking about the meaning of her words. Is it true or false? However, a moment later, Red Fire Dragon also restored that copy of the master's most loser attitude. Tell me about the contractual agreement. I'll let you out of the forbidden area, and you'll protect Yunfu for 3 years to protect Yunfu from harm. Cloud Dance slightly droops eyes. The deep meaning of the eye ground is obvious. Once Red Fire Dragon comes out, it must be a big turbulence. But no matter what, there is a contract agreement. Within 3 years, Red Fire Dragon at least will not wantonly murder. What? Do you want me to guard Yunfu? The Red Fire Dragon's anger of killing his father's enemies resounded here. Reverberate in the space, constantly rejecting. Cloud Dance micro frown, glanced at Red Fire Dragon, not to guard Cloud House? As for the big reaction? It's your ancestors of the Cloud family who imprison me here. After hundreds of years of pain, you can understand that you still let me guard the Cloud House. I won't do it. The Red Fire Dragon's angry body completely turned into a flame, burning naked, and the burning sensation of the whole space suddenly increased. Cloud Dance raised a sneer at the corner of his mouth, and his eyes drooped slightly. It's quite moral. It was the summoner of Cloud House who released you. How do you calculate this? Red Fire Dragon listen. Zheng for a moment, roared again, no matter, anyway I don't do. Cloud Dance mouth corner sneer deepens unceasingly, congeals the Red Fire Dragon's eyes. Yusen is unpredictable. Red Fire Dragon looked at her. Look at the moment, unexpectedly unconsciously had a creepy meaning. Step back. In this instant, it actually felt the fear to her. She have a ring. When did Uncle Ben give such advice? The Red Fire Dragon howled and fell on the ground with a face of failure. He was afraid of son of a bitch. My reputation is ruined. Yunwu also slightly raises her eyebrows. She didn't expect that the Red Fire Dragon would be afraid. Maybe it was because of her fear of the summoner. She raised a smile at the corner of her mouth, glanced at the sad Red Fire Dragon. Her figure suddenly glanced. You have agreed, then, so happily decided. Before the Red Fire Dragon could react, Cloud Dance was already in the air, and the light of the summoner suddenly appeared. The space is strange, a tremor. Seems to echo the Millennium Imprisonment Contract. Red Fire Dragon at this moment, a shiver in the bottom of his heart, seems to be in the force of the imprisonment and the pressure of breathing. Damn it. Even if hundreds of years have passed, the Millennium Contract set by Cloud World still has such a strong force. When Yunwu felt that breath, it was also a little surprised. Is this the power of the summoner of the ancestors of the Cloud family? Yunwu knows that her ability is not enough for her ancestors. However, the contract was established hundreds of years ago, and the residual strength of the contract has been weakened. Ancestors, if they don't have to, as descendants of the Cloud family, they won't do it by force. Please don't blame them. After Yunwu said this, the contract formation suddenly came out of the body. The summoner's contract array responded to each other. A net-like contract array appeared on the palace. That is the contract array of the ancestors of the Cloud family? Cloud Dance looked at the contract array in the air and was surprised. However, Yunwu didn't hesitate to cover her contract array for the first time. If you want to get rid of it, it can only be replaced by another more powerful contract matrix. The bottom of Cloud Dance's heart has already been there. It's ready to fight. However, the next scene was unexpected. Just as her contract array was about to cover the contract array left by her ancestors, there was a soft light in the contract array. Not only did not resist the Cloud Dance that covers the contract array, on the contrary, slowly fusion. What's going on? There was a flash of surprise in Yunwu's eyes. However, just when Yunwu was stunned, a ray of light shot out from the array and wrapped Yunwu in a moment. The light cuts off the outside world. The Cloud family finally reappeared. The summoner. After so many years of waiting, he finally came. It was a strong and clear voice, as if it came from a distant place. Cloud Dance along. Cloud World? This Red Fire Dragon is the 8th son of the Dragon King. He is violent in nature. He had to be imprisoned at that time. Today's human world can't be the enemy of the dragon family. Therefore, when you let him go, you must make an agreement with him. You must never hurt the Cloud family. Set up an agreement. She had thought of this for a long time, but Yunwu was curious about the source of the sound. Is that what Yun Tianxia left before he died? Or, he's not dead, he's talking to her somewhere? Because the body is wrapped by the light, what the clouds see in front of them is just a vast expanse of white. Are you the ancestor of the Cloud family? Are you living or dying now? Cloud dance in the end or can't help but ask. After a while, the voice seemed to come with a smile. Girl, life and death are just the rules of the world. Why care? Remember, the Cloud family will depend on you in the future. See, that words of fall, wrap in the light of Cloud dance body instantly disappeared. But that last sentence actually unceasingly reverberates in the Cloud dance mind. The future of the Cloud family depends on her? Does the ancestor of the Cloud family think highly of her? However, the contract in the air has been integrated. The Millennium Imprisonment Contract is so simple to be lifted. To tell you the truth, Yunwu also thinks it's a little irrelevant. However, Yunwu took the opportunity to set up a 3-year contract agreement in the name of the summoner and a short contract with the Red Fire Dragon. The Red Fire Dragon was released smoothly. After being free, the Red Fire Dragon completely lost the attitude of refusing just now. It roared and roared with excitement. Roar! Strong body suddenly broke the air and up. Directly broke through the forbidden area of the Cloud family. Cloud House, after a loud noise, a position on the ground shaking mountains. Yunqi's face turned black when he heard the roar of the Red Fire Dragon. This sound, how to listen, it seems to have come out? Is it Yunqi's face is even worse? He shouts in a low voice, "Go to find the 3 elders and come here together." Yunqi looks at the burning half of the sky. He has a bad feeling in his heart. He always feels that it has something to do with Yunwu. Sharp eyes across a trace of helplessness, a slight sigh, this girl in the nonsense. As soon as the Red Fire Dragon appeared, the whole Zhou dynasty changed. Because it has been reported that a demon dragon has been detained in Yunfu. Now this movement, this change. The whole imperial city was in a panic, and the news spread almost instantly. The demon dragon is coming out. The demon dragon is coming out again. Everyone will suffer. Word of mouth, all of a sudden made the whole imperial city panic. Although Red Fire Dragon does not agree to guard Cloud House, it is a great gift for him to get freedom again. What's more, since the contract agreement has been signed, how can we not follow the contract? It's agreed that I will only protect you for 3 years. After 3 years, I will leave. You are not allowed to make any contracts for me at that time. The Red Fire Dragon cast a suspicious glance at the clouds in mid-air, and the fear and distrust of the summoner still did not disappear. Deal. Cloud Dance open mouth readily agreed, Mao light inside but flit over a fine on and cunning point. After 3 years, we'll talk about it later. The Red Fire Dragon trampled on the evil and readily agreed. He had no bottom in his heart. He muttered something and left the forbidden area. In its heart, the most distrust is the summoner. If it wasn't the summoner of Yunfu at the beginning, why did it come to the present situation? Inside the palace. Sire, the Red Fire Dragon has been released. The guards who have been guarding the Red Fire Dragon in the Cloud House rush back to the palace to report. Zhou Batian looked at the abnormal changes of the sky. His fierce eyes flashed a touch of darkness, and then waved to the bodyguard to leave. Is it true that, as the National Master said, the Zhou dynasty will? Zhou Batian looked at the flaming red clouds over the Cloud House, slightly asteringed his eyes, and his anger could no longer be concealed. In Yunfu, the 3 elders and Yunqi gather together and look at the Red Fire Dragon over Yunfu. Their eyes are surprised. This. One of the elders pointed to the Red Fire Dragon and was surprised. Not a word is complete. What are you looking at? Be careful, I'm in a bad mood. I'll burn you to death. Red Fire Dragon looked at the 4 old men and roared with terror. After that, He didn't look at them anymore and fell asleep. A black line suddenly appeared on everyone's faces just at this time. Yunwoo came back, took a look at the three elders and Yunqi, and frowned slightly. Cloud Chi looks at Cloud Dance. Fierce Mao Sun glances at the red fire dragon of sky, frown away. 9 wenches, is that you put it out? Yes, grandfather. Cloud Dance nodded. The bottom of the eyes swept to helpless. It's estimated that the Cloud family can't understand the red dragon released this time. The red fire dragon is cruel in nature. We follow our ancestors' instructions and guard it from generation to generation. How can you let it out of the world? Yunqi looks at Yunwoo in bewilderment. His granddaughter is not the kind of person who doesn't know right or wrong. Cloud Dance's lips raised a smile, glanced at the plate in the air, sleeping red fire dragon. Sinew said, "Grandfather, do you think it will harm the world?" At the moment, the red fire dragon seems to have no ferocious fury at all. But extremely docile, like a simple child in general, there is a trace of lovely. For the red fire dragon, Cloud Dance psychology is quite satisfied. What is it doing here? Yunqi looks at the red fire dragon and frowns, but he seems to have guessed something in his heart. Grandfather, Yunfu has always been loyal to the Zhou dynasty, and finally came to this end. Do you feel cold? Cloud Dance slightly picks eyebrows and glances at Cloud Chi. Then he said, "Today your granddaughter was forced to choose a position and I refused. Do you think Yunfu will be peaceful?" Yunwoo talks endlessly. She is gambling. Yunqi will be shaken when she hears these words. Yunqi's eyes are dark. Anger rubbed up, voice big up. Cloud House generation loyalty, this son of a bitch, the head is not squeezed by the door. Between the words, there are sadness, helplessness and heartache. It's more than being squeezed by the door. If you can't take it for your own use, you have to kill it all. It's really the emperor's heartlessness. Cloud Dance, mouth a yang, eyes inside the cold light wipe off. She believes that Yunqi will think it over. If he can guess the purpose of her saying these words, it would be better. He will make a choice. I hope that choice won't disappoint her. If not, Yunqi hears her words and never says anything, but droops his eyes and meditates on her words. The other 3 elders also looked at each other and saw that Yunfu had been assassinated after its power was cut. Now Miss Nine is still forced to choose her position. It seems that there is something wrong with it. Everyone knows that Miss Nine is Long Shizi's fiancée. Now that Long Shizi returns to Long Shugua, Miss Nine naturally follows him. Is it a naked threat to let her choose her position? Grandfather, I believe you must understand my words. Red Fire Dragon will protect Yunfu for 3 years, and I want to go back to Longshu country. What Yunfu will do next and what I will do next are all decided by grandfather. Yunwoo looks at Yunqi with a sad attitude, and her eyes pass by a touch of worry. Yunfu's loyalty to the Zhou dynasty was not completely convinced by her 3 or 2 words. I believe that Zhou Batian won't let Yunfu spend these 3 years so safely. Let Zhou Batian die out the loyalty of Yunfu little by little. As the saying goes, you can live if heaven does evil, but you can't live if you do evil yourself. Wind-dazzled heart, that night's bloody smell, it seems still clear to smell. Yunqi looks at Yunwoo's back. Her eyes squint and she smiles thoughtfully. This 9 wenches, even he this old man also calculate. After solving the matter of Yunfu, Yunwoo plans to go to Longziguo. There is Red Fire Dragon in. Now the Zhou dynasty has no threat to the Cloud House. Even if Zhou Batian wants to take the Cloud House to threaten her, it is impossible. If he wants to take Xueliu as an excuse, he can only come to Longziguo to kill her. However, as long as he dares to come, she will let none of them go back. On the other hand, the fight between Zhou Feiyu and Zhou Tianyu will also give him a headache. He intends to let Zhou Tianyu ascend the throne. Is Zhou Feiyu a fuel-efficient lamp? The fierce fighting in the nest just gave the dragon time to pour out evil. Just after Cloud Dance put all the things it needed into the space, it just walked out of the room, but met Zhou Feiyu. Cloud Dance looks at Zhou Feiyu. Lu Mei is low. What does he come to Cloud House for? Are you going to leave? Zhou Feiyu put his hands behind him. His eyes were calm and he could not see his mood. His arrogant figure stood in front of Yunwoo, with a touch of domineering dignity that could not be ignored. Cloud Dance's tiny jaw head lift mouth to ask away, "What's up?" "It's okay. I just came to discuss something with General Yunda. I'll see you by the way." Zhou Feiyu gives an awe-inspiring smile and specially aggravates the discussion with General Yun. There was a light in Yunwoo's eyes. How could she forget her father? Although for Yun Lingyi, up to now, I can't say what feelings it is. However, contact but also understand that the stubborn Cloud Cold a tendon of a loyal person. She can be sure that her grandfather will be in her camp, but she's not sure about her father. Cloud Dance glanced at Zhou Feiyu and sneered, "Let's have a good discussion. I hope you can succeed." Then he passed him and turned away. Zhou Feiyu turned around, looking at her back, calm eyes, a trace of anger burning. When he has solved those obstacles, Long Shugua is the first goal of his trial. The cloud dances slightly to hang the eye sun. The eye bottom undercurrent emerges. She can guess what they are talking about. If her father agrees, one day, this week, Feiyu will become a powerful opponent of Long Shugua. Then she'll regret not killing him that day. Days go by. The night is charming and quiet. Under the starry night, Long Qingxie stands by the lakeside of Tsuebwa Lake, looking at the shimmering surface of the lake, remembering the cool figure in his heart, with a smile in his mouth. "Little thing, are you coming?" Suddenly, his eyes were dazed, and the smile at the corner of his mouth froze for a second. He dropped his eyes slightly, and a strange light appeared at the bottom of his eyes, which was better than the stars at this time. Under the willow trees by the lake, a small figure passes by and hides. A pair of star eyes secretly coagulate the man in white by the lake, and his eyes are stained with a smile. In the moment of her drooping eyes, the white figure suddenly disappeared. What about people? Cloud Dance micro-frown, look around, but did not find anything unusual, cannot help but some doubts. "Little thing, peeping is my husband. I should come later." Suddenly, a low voice of evil spirit rang out in her ear. Cloud Dance a tremble, frightened suddenly goose bumps up a body, suddenly look back white he one eye. He can suddenly appear beside her in silence she didn't even notice. Is her vigilance decreased, or is his strength increased too much? It seems that if he killed the man in the upper world that day, his strength really improved. Alas! In the quiet night, the dragon suddenly sighed deeply. When Yunwoo wanted to ask why he sighed, he would come down and let Yunwoo want to beat him. "If you're a little late, maybe my husband has already bathed and changed here." Cloud Dance. The sound of a dull blow reverberates steadily in the night. "Your strength is above me." Cloud Dance glanced at Dragon Qing Evil One Eye, the corner of the mouth a low, some dissatisfaction. With a low smile, Long Qingxie encircles her in his arms and says, "Only in this way can you let a man do what a man should do. He will always be the little man behind you. He will be embarrassed for his husband." "Oh." Cloud Dance smell speech, rare feigned rechu, lift mao a face to despise of looking at him. "Your skin is so thick, embarrassed also can't show." In fact, she knew that even if she didn't get the power of the man in the upper world, his uncanny strength was not under her. His evil body is like an endless abyss. It's totally out of touch. No one knows how high his real strength is. Long Qingxie dotes on her tightly in his arms, and the smile at the corner of his mouth makes her pale under the stars and the moon. His current strength is indeed one period higher than this little thing. However, in this changeable world of power, what is fixed? It's just like the evil bite in her body. If she is completely subordinated to her, and her power is completely used by her, no one in the whole mainland of China can match her. Under the quiet willow trees, two figures stand embracing each other. They are as elegant as immortal aluminum. Except for the sound of breathing, it seems that all the sounds that break the tranquility have stopped. After a long time. Did he do something? The cloud dances from the dragon to pour out the head in the evil bosom, the Mao light tiny dark way. Dragon Qing Evil slightly nods, the smile of the corner of the mouth is cold a minute, have already extended the claw tooth into an kingdom. Cloud Dance micro-frown, she can feel the breath of his chest dignified a bit. Can you catch a turtle in a jar? Cloud Dance eyebrow tip a pick, Mao Guang flits past a touch of pure light. The dragon tilts evil to hang Mao to smile, knocked on her head. My wife knows my heart very well. What about this side? What did he do? Cloud Dance mouth with a smile, thoughts spread, Ink Night Ice can't let Long Qingxia safely stay here, we'll certainly find a way to let him leave. Or it's more likely to kill him. In today's court, most people jointly wrote to their father, saying that I have been hiding my strength, and now I suddenly return to Longziguo, there must be some purpose. Long Qingxia's eyes were dark and his mouth was full of sarcastic smile. Cloud Dance's tiny narrow eyes, let go of the dragon to pour evil, suddenly cold all around. He has an impure purpose? Are these important officials kicked by donkeys? Even if he was sent to the Zhou dynasty as a child, he is the blood of the state of Long Su, the three princes of the state of Long Su. This can't be changed. Even if he wants to be the king of Long Shugua, it can be justified. What is the purpose? After so many years, it seems that Mo Yebing has brainwashed them and deeply rooted. Would you rather believe in a national teacher than the son of the Lord? Can I help you? The cloud dances, the eye light passes a touch of worry. It's not easy to solve the problem that the powerful officials oppose. Dragon Qing evil mouth pulled out a smile, looking at the clouds, beautiful eyes. This little thing can guess everything. It seems that she already knows that her father was controlled by the national master. Have you ever heard of Jin Zhonghua? Dragon Qing evil looking at Cloud Dance. Fierce not ding of emerge such a sentence. At this time, the golden light of the dragon in my mind flashed, and a piece of information suddenly flashed. Golden Bell Puzzle is a puzzle lost thousands of years ago. Users will be able to control a person's thoughts, words, and actions. And the person who is confused by the golden bell is like a puppet, which can be manipulated by others. The most insidious place is that the user gives an order. If he doesn't say stop, the skilled person will generate the user's thoughts. But there will also be great side effects. Even if Jin's Hongwo is relieved in the future, the middle bewitcher is likely to live in the world of mental retardation all his life. Is it true that he was deceived by the golden bell? Cloud Dance coagulates dragon to pour evil, eyes are surprised. He, of course, refers to the Lord of Longshu. That is to say, if Mo Yebing wants Long Qingxia to leave, he just needs to give an order to Long Yaozi, and Long Yaozi will have a thought and drive him away with logical thinking? Or even order him killed? Of course, killing or not is another matter. However, with only one command, Mo Yebing can set the location of Dragon's evil spirit in a dangerous place without interfering in this matter. This person is not a person, ghost is not a ghost thing. It's not a damn thing. Cloud Dance eyes cold on emerge, faint burning a trace of cold flame. Long Qingxia looks at Yun Wu's resentful eyes and raises a smile at the corner of his mouth. But don't worry, just find a way to get rid of the golden bell puzzle. Cloud Dance eyebrow tip tiny pick, you found a way? Long Qingxia nodded slightly, his eyes were dark, but there was no joy in his face because he found a way. No matter how hard it is, it can. Yunwu grabs his hand and smiles. Although, she didn't quite understand what feelings existed between Long Qingxia and Long Yaozi. However, since it was his father, there was at least a connection in his blood. Just like her and the Cloud family, Jin Zhonghua was lost thousands of years ago, but now there is a way to get rid of him. It must be very difficult to get a way to get rid of him. Moreover, Mo Yebing is moody and may take action one day. The time left for them to find a solution is not fixed. Maybe one day, maybe 2 days, maybe tomorrow he will do something. But she has a hunch that Mo Yebing won't get the dragon out so soon. Long Qingxia's strength has improved. He should be aware of it. His way of cultivation seems to have some bottom in his heart in the last fight with Cloud Dance. It is estimated that he always wanted to get the power inside them. The reason why he let Long Qingxia come back this time is that, in addition to the pressure of the people at that time, he still wanted to catch turtles in a jar, breaking the back road of Long Qingxia. If there's nothing to do tomorrow, I'll take you to a place tomorrow and let's elope. Long Qingxie put away the dark eyes, and the evil spirit danced to the clouds with a smile. Elopement? Cloud dance micro frown. No, this guy's serious time not more than a few seconds. But she still nodded, knowing that she was going to find a place to dispel the golden bell puzzle. Some words didn't need to be said too clearly. They knew each other deep at night, cool, lake, and restore the original quiet. The next day, early in the morning, Long Qingxie with Cloud dance high-profile transfer in the palace. The two of them are very dazzling together. No matter where they go, the bodyguards, Gong and Gong who pass by can't help looking at them. An evil spirit, a cold and gorgeous, are the two most extreme people. Cloud dance looks at the palace maids passing by and looks back at them step by step. She frowns slightly and can't help glancing at the dragon. As for such a high profile, what she doesn't like most is to be seen as an exhibit without paying. It seems that she has no value. When Long Qingxie heard her words, her sword eyebrows were slightly raised and her waist was encircled. Of course. However, this move was just seen by the oncoming Mo Yebing. Ink Night Ice See Cloud dance, calm and cool eyes obviously a sync. Cloud dance white he one eye, looking back also touched Mo Yi Bingson cold eyes tiny mi. The three men looked at each other as if they had agreed, but did not say a word, pass by. Disappeared in the Cloud dance line of sight in the Ink Night Ice cold eyes dark calm, a touch of killing idea lead to emerge. His plan was disturbed by this woman again. Originally, I wanted to take advantage of their separation and clean up one by one. But didn't think, send out of that Wuzun medium dark Xian, unexpectedly died in that wench hand, kill her plan to fail. I wanted to introduce the dragon's evil design today, and I absorbed the power in his body by the way, but I didn't expect the girl to come so soon. The strength of the two of them has been improved by more than one chip. If they join hands, he will not dare to do it easily. Ink Night Ice cold eyes a touch of red appear, that first let them live a few days. Yunwu felt the cold smell behind him, more dignified, and drew a cold smile from the corner of his mouth. It seems that he has realized something. I don't think it's all right today. Let's elope for my husband and wife. The sound of dragon's evil spirit interrupts her meditation. Without waiting for her to recover, she feels empty. All around the breath will be sharp up. Waiting for her next second to come back to mind, her body has been in the air, the scene around is fuzzy and hazy, and she can't see anything clearly. Close your eyes and we'll be there. The sound of dragon's evil spirit was lingering in my ears. However, before Yunwu closed her eyes, Long Qingxie reached out to cover her eyes. What's so mysterious? Yunwu felt as if he was passing something quickly, but his eyes were covered, but he couldn't see anything. Until half a ring later, the man's hand was released. When the darkness in front of you is bright again, Cloud dance looks at the scene in front of you, and your eyes pass by with a touch of surprise and doubt. This is Cloud dance micro frown of search memory, suddenly pick eyebrow. Ancient town? Isn't that the ancient town where Gao Gao brought her? A small town at the junction of the three kingdoms. Just, how did this man take her so quickly from the palace of Longshu Kingdom to the junction of the three kingdoms? It's weird. However, Cloud dance chose not to ask this question. Here is the man who can dispel perplexity? Cloud dance raises eyes to coagulate dragon to pour evil one eye way. Dragon Qing evil slightly jaw head, the mood in the eye light changes rapidly. Yunwu glances at the people in Shanggu town and frowns slightly. Just like the last time, people here still look at them with a strange look, just like seeing some rare animal. Let's go. Long Qingxie didn't look at those people's eyes. He took Cloud dance's hand and walked in the crowd with a smile in his eyes. Last time, when we were together, Yunwu had no time to observe these people. This time, I found that she was here and could not feel any spiritual power. Weird, so weird. Long Qingxie brings Yunwu directly to a shop. There are many things in the shop, such as weapons, medicinal materials, and martial arts books. As long as they are needed by a warrior, everything is complete. Yunwu patrols around the shop. When he sees the plaque on the shop, his face turns black. by Shaoxing in ancient town is familiar with everything in ancient times. He says 100 liang. 100 liang? What a wicked businessman. Girl, is there anything to ask? Suddenly, an extremely simple and honest voice with a smile rang behind the cloud dance. Yunwu takes back her eyes on 100 liang sentence and looks back at the person behind her. He was dressed in an ordinary gray robe. He was in his early 30s. He was half shorter than her. He was fat and short. But the things in his shop are all needed by martial arts practitioners, and they should be valuable. Besides, the news of 100 liang should not be such a poor picture, ask him. Yunwu slightly raised his chin and glanced at the dragon. Hearing the words of cloud dance, the man picked up the small book in his hand and drew a circle. Looking at the circle, he grinned happily. His eyes narrowed into a crack, and then he went to the dragon. There are 3 black lines on Yunwu's forehead. I always feel bad. The message? The same dialogue. Long Qingxia nodded and said with a deep smile, Jingzhong puzzle is a kind of puzzle. Where do people who can solve puzzles live here? Thank you. I saw the boss heard Long Qingxia's words, and his face turned black instantly. He didn't have the joy of talking with Yunwu at all. Go straight out of the door, turn left at the intersection, and go straight to the end. The boss drew a circle on the small book and gave him a white look. Cloud dance micro frown of looking at Long Qing evil. One breath say so many words, not tired? When she was puzzled, the boss raised his smiling face and ran to her. Any more news? That's it. The cloud dances the Mao light to emerge to doubt, see to Long Qing evil. Long Qingxia nodded, smiling, mysterious and meaningful. No more. Yunwu glances at the boss who is looking up and waiting for her answer. His face turns black. There is always a feeling of being fooled. Boss smell speech facial expression is a joy again, drew 2 circles on small book again, handed over cloud dance. 500 taels, thank you. Yunwu looked at the book in his hand, and the blue veins on his forehead appeared. 100 liang. Yunwu finally understood from the beginning. She fell into the pit dug by the unscrupulous businessman. A few hundred liang? Cloud dance. When Liang asked, eyebrow tip a pick, the corner of the mouth died with a light smile. But there was a smell of threat in the voice, as if he dared to say 500 liang, and she stripped his skin. 500 liang. The boss straightened his back, raised his head and said word by word. See cloud dance. The anger in the eye rubs to burn up. Here are 500 taels, thank you. As soon as Long Qingxia's voice fell, the boss felt a strong wind passing by, and the 2 figures disappeared in the shop. The boss didn't look surprised. Looking at the silver note in his hand, he installed it happily. However, at this time, you'd better pray that I don't run into you again. A low roar, across the air, far away floated over. Dragon Qing evil will cloud dance to the outside, mouth evil smile does not reduce, little thing, you are really lovely. Cloud dance now facial expression stinks of terrible, lift Mao to stare him one eye. Cute? To be more direct is to be silly. Next time we meet this unscrupulous businessman, we must let him return 500 liang. If we don't give him back, we will deal with him. Although she has a lot of money, gold, silver and jewelry in her space, it doesn't mean that she is a big wrongdoer. Her eyes are sulky, the violence factor is out of control, a cold face, now full of 2 words. Money, play, how do you know that someone here will dispel the golden bell puzzle? I remember Gao Gao said that it's a special place, extremely difficult to be found, and ordinary people can't get in. But how did he find out? I know what's going on here. Dragon Qing Xie Hang Mao mysterious smile, is not the beginning of worship for husband? Yes. It was clear that he was not talking. This man is always so mysterious and seems to know everything. However, her admiration for his knowledge of this place. At that time, it seemed that it had something to do with the upper boundary. It sounded very mysterious. Dragon Qing evil swept one eye crowd, Mao light tiny low, circle cloud dance waist. In a twinkling of an eye, I came to the place that the shop owner said. They stand outside the fence. In the center of the distance is a stone house. The shape of the stone house is like a modern pyramid. It is extremely exquisite and domineering. The only drawback is that the stone walls are covered with moss, which has an ancient and gloomy feeling. Cloud Dance felt an unusual breath, reached out and touched the inside of the fence, slightly frowned and said, "Boarder? Who's out there?" Suddenly, a voice that seemed to have been baptized by hell came out. It was a very gloomy three-dimensional voice. Listen to that person's voice. Should be a weather-beaten old man. Long Qingxia put his eyes on the stone house and said, "Come and find the solution to the golden bell puzzle." The golden bell? When the old man heard the three words, his voice was obviously a little surprised, but it soon faded. "The golden bell puzzle has disappeared for thousands of years. I can't help it." A shop owner knows you can solve the golden bell puzzle, but why do you say you can't? The cloud dances the Mao light to pass by a doubt. That shop owner hears the golden bell to be puzzled. The first time thinks of him, explain he can certainly solve, but why does he say to be incompetent? Is there any secret behind this? Little girl, as you too are, it's better to know less about these things. As soon as the old man's voice fell, the cloud dance and the dragon's evil spirits were all in a daze. Poor they. Can the old man know their identities without looking at them? Yunwu ponders and frowns slightly. Isn't the old man a diviner? What if I had to know? Yunwu looks at the stone house and raises her eyebrows slightly. Inside the stone house, a long silence. I can't help what I said. It's not that I can't solve it, but that I can't get out. The sound came from behind the stone house. The cloud dances the dragon to poor evil mutually to look at. The Mao bottom flits past a touch of surprise. The voice did come from the stone house, but why did the last sentence come from the back of the stone house? You, where on earth is it? Cloud Dance's eyes are cool. They are only 10 meters away from the stone house. They can still hear each other. But if the old man is behind the stone house, his strength is really unfathomable. The rockery behind the stone house is hundreds of meters away from them. The view is fuzzy, not to mention the sound. I'm naturally under the rockery, and in the stone house, I'm the spirit beast who takes care of me. The old man's voice came back from behind the stone house. Spirit beast? Cloud Dance eyes low. Has the spirit beast of the elixir? Yunwu's face suddenly changed, and an undercurrent crossed his eyes. Are you imprisoned here? What is the strength of the prisoner? The old man's silent voice answered Yunwu's words and said for a while, that's why I can't do anything. You'd better go back. Cloud Dance raised a bloodthirsty smile at the corner of his mouth and said to the stone house, if you solve it, can you come out? Girl, don't mess around. The old man heard what he said and said hastily, this Warcraft is no better than the Warcraft on the mainland of China. Don't take risks. What did you try to know, old man? If you come out, are you sure you can get rid of the golden bell puzzle? Although Cloud danced this words as to ask of that old man, eyes but heavy looking at stone house, sharp eyes inside bloodthirsty chili spread. I can understand it, but you can't. Bang! The old man's words were all silent in the shaking sound of the stone house. In an instant, two figures broke the border, a loud noise, the stone house was cracked. They used a strong gun, came to the stone house. You alas! The old man felt that they had broken through the border and sighed helplessly. It was too late to say anything. Oh! As the stone house trembled, a howl came out, with enough anger to burn around. Suddenly, the stone house began to shake violently, as if the spirit beast inside was going to break out of the house. The stone house, which had just been cracked by the two of them, had more and more cracks. After a while, they could see the spirit beast's body through the crack. Bang! The sound of the broken stone house. With a crack sound, a black shadow broke out of the house. After several meters in the air, it fell on the ground steadily and forcefully. Gravel diffuse, black figure in the dust, hazy. But it is not difficult to see that the posture is strong, with great spiritual power and strength. Cloud Dance looks at the spirit beast in front of him. His eyes are dark and turbulent. This spirit beast is not in the same level as the spirit beast I met last time. This spirit beast has human nature and is vicious. You must be careful. The old man looked at the spirit beast coming out of the broken house, and there was no way to stop it. The only thing he could do was to worry about them. The spirit beast's body is only 2 meters high, and it is surrounded by dense spirit power. It seems that even a breath sound hides great spirit power. Most eye-catching is that pair of strange blue eyes. Yunwoo seems to see disdain and irony in those eyes. I'm in a bad mood today. I'll give you a chance to live. Now go away. Spirit beast blood red eye sun stares at two people. Between the speech is revealing ruthless. Oh, a beast that can never be transformed into human form. What capital is there to say that? Cloud dance mouth cold a hook, looking at the spirit beast, words. What did you say? When the spirit beast heard this, he roared, and the breath around him suddenly condensed. Say you can only be a beast forever. Cloud dance sneered. Since it is so grumpy, use words to provoke it, so as to test its strength. But a vicious beast, no matter how spiritual, can't be transformed into human form. I think you are looking for death. Spirit beast big drink blood red Mao sun a ruthless, suddenly toward Cloud dance hit. Long Qingxia looks at the spirit beast, and his smiling eyes are a little deep. Looking back at Shang Yun dance, he said, go to exercise your muscles and bones for your husband first. You'll see if you're handsome for your husband. As soon as his voice fell, without waiting for the Cloud dance to say anything, a phantom passed by and fell on the spirit beast. In such a hurry, I will help you. The spirit beast roared. In an instant, the dragon jumped down, and the spirit beast kicked forward and swept the dragon. Like lightning, ferocious speed. Long Qingxia stood in the same place, his mouth was stained with bloodthirsty traces. Suddenly, a Pei suddenly appeared in front of the spirit beast. The blood-red eyes of the spirit beast were surprised. It was so powerful that it couldn't take it back. A roar enough to shake the whole ancient town tore the air and carried it through the sky. At the same moment, Long Qingxia, holding the Apei, was repulsed by the blow just now. Apei lifted the surface, a gully appeared. Cloud Dance can feel how much strength the dragon used to stop his backward body. Cloud Dance will move the eyes to the spirit beast. In that second, that pair of indifferent and calm eyes died with a touch of surprise unbelievable. That spirit beast is actually picking its wound there? The blood trickles down. It feels like it doesn't hurt. It pinches out the broken bones in the wound one by one. Ferocious wound, DC blood, fuzzy flesh and blood. Cloud Dance can't help frowning slightly. As if she had just come to this strange world and was treating her wounds in that lake. But today I see this scene, but I feel disgusted. It doesn't hurt. You have to be careful about that. The old man's voice came again from 100 meters away. Old man, try one more word. The spirit beast roared and opened his tusks. He wanted to eat the old man every other day. Cloud Dance Mao Guang a sink, eye ground is slightly surprised, do not have painful feeling? So even if he's chopping it 10 or 8 times, his reaction is just like this. Not only Cloud Dance was a little surprised, but also Dragon Qingxia's calm eyes were surprised. No pain, like a fighting machine, unless the parts are broken, otherwise the Cloud dances the Mao Guang Yu to see the spirit beast. The spirit beast also cleans up the broken bones at the moment, purses the mouth, vomits a few mouthfuls to the wound, took the claw to wipe. Cloud Dance. The feeling of nausea came again. Who taught it how to disinfect? Dare to be disgusting after sipping the foam, the spirit beast stood up to look at Xiang Yun dance and said, although I don't know what it's like to feel pain, I enjoy seeing your pain. I don't know the pain, do I? Let's dry your blood. The roast meat should taste good too. The dragon leans lazily on the remains of the stone house, with a bloodthirsty smile on the corner of his mouth, and a dark haze appears. Is it worth beating if it doesn't hurt? He's not going to die like you are. With the cold hum of Cloud Dance, the speed of the black flame sword, which was possessed by the magic power and wind elements, turned into a solitary shadow in an instant. It lifted the air and hit the spirit beast steadily. Bang! There was a strong dull noise from the ground. The dust suddenly radiated around with the power of the afterwave of the big knife, destroying the trees within a few meters, and the objects suddenly fell. The old man looked at this scene, the vicissitudes of life sharp eyes or swept a touch of surprise. Although we have seen the strength of the girl, but her own strength is not limited to the early days of Wuzuan. Why do you feel familiar with the dark power on the dragon blade just now? Is it impossible? The old man shook his head and overturned his guess. After all, he just guessed and could not really feel the source of the power. But because of this, he felt more likely to the spirit beast's nest was in the big pit. It took a long time for it to react. I beat you up, I'm angry. Suddenly, the spirit beast jumped in the air, and had already jumped out of the pit steadily. The anger in his red eyes continued to spread. All of a sudden, his whole head was bright red, and the long hair on his head seemed washed by blood. It's gloomy, weird, and scarlet. The cloud dances the phoenix Mao tiny am I, looking at the spirit beast blood red of ferocious, the Mao Zhongsen cold suddenly appear, even the words all say of disorderly, return to call oneself Big Yi, return what capital do you have? Suddenly, the vine of wood element shakes away like a snake, and the spirit beast flies away. Look where you're hiding. The cloud dances, the eye light appears a touch of scarlet, the wood element vines are winding everywhere. The fire element burns on the vine, and the spirit beast can't settle down at all. This makes the spirit beast a little scared. Is wood and fire the same? This girl, is that all? However, the spirit beast jumped and fell on the boundary outside the vine. And cloud dance after it fell on the border, also followed to the border. At the boundary, the location of the rockery can no longer be seen. The red eyes of the spirit beast are fierce, and the powerful spirit force is like a mask, protecting him and blocking any attack. Right now, the cloud dances a big drink, the figure is like shuttle, the bar went up the spirit beast's attack. And the Long Qingxie, who has been ignored all the time, has arrived at the rockery at the moment when the cloud dance just exits. Purple fighting edge appears with the power of black haze. With the sound of changing color, the rockery is divided into two. After a loud roar and clear vision, the old man's figure appeared in front of Long Qingxie's eyes. Long Qingxie looks at the old man's magic mask, his eyes are dark. There's a power shield in there. If one's own strength is not as good as that of the person who casts the aura, he will be attacked by his own strength. On the contrary, if one breaks the aura, he will be attacked by the aura. The spirit beast hears the loud noise, looks at the broken rockery, red eyes alung, the body actually has a shiver, looking back at Inhan, staring at the cloud. You dare to lie to me? My master will kill me. I'll bury you too. Bang! The huge spirit power erupted from its body, and the two figures were instantly knocked away. The aftershocks are constant and the shadow is in a mess. Cloud dance dragon half kneels on the ground, eyes light heavy, all feel the breath of the body. In the ancient town, all people put their consciousness on their side, and this continuous roar made everyone smile. It's a long time since ancient town was so busy, eat this. At this time, Yunwu takes out the elixir of spirit beast in the space and puts it into the mouth of Dragon Qingxie. Just that blow, Dragon Qingxie blocked most of her strength. She can feel the breath in his body, and the elixir can quickly recover the internal injury, which is just useful. Long Qingxie felt that a cold thing in his mouth slipped into his throat, his eyes were bloody and staring at the spirit beast, and the corners of his mouth were stained with a bloody smile. Suddenly, he felt that the cold things were spreading out, and the restless and disordered breath in his body had been suppressed by the cold things. His eyes slightly narrowed, looked back at Cloud Dance, evil spirit a smile. For husband front, you back. All of a sudden, a flash of mirage passed by, and the dragon had been entangled with the spirit beast. After several fights, Yunwu found that the spirit beast had no other moves besides powerful spirit power and rapid reaction. Suddenly, she turned her eyes to the old man in the distance, and looked at the smart mask around him, with a smile in her eyes. Attack Sun's shield with Sun Spear. The Cloud Dance sees the spirit beast and dragon to pour evil and neutral gear. Purple shadow quickly passes by, toward the old man Ling, but that speed is much slower than usual. The spirit beast glanced at the galloping figure of the cloud dance, and the blood-red eyes were rolling. "Don't let that old man go." The spirit beast chased away, and his figure was quick and agile. At the moment of catching up with the clouds, the huge spirit power in his body appeared faintly, turned into a circle, and seemed to break out. "Bury me first." At the moment when the powerful spirit power attacked, an ape crossed between Yunwu and spirit power. Yunwu left and retreated to a safe place in the next second. At the same second, the ape was attacked by spirit power and stabbed directly at the old man's spirit power mask. The spirit beast looked at the straight edge of the ape, red eyes suddenly a zheng. "It's broken, Kang." The ape whirled, wave after wave. The ape was rebounded by the fluctuation of the spirit mask, and the phantom attacked the spirit beast. At that moment, the spirit beast didn't have time to think about it. He reflexively hit back the ape and used up all his spirit power. The spirit beast retreated a few steps, and the spirit power swarmed out like a thread. Instantly, the sky is silvery white, and the cloud dance can clearly feel the surrounding spiritual power surging, and the edge is like a blade. The ape clanged again, unstoppable, and the speed of piercing everything turned back to the spirit mask. "Ah, can't stab." Before he finished his words, two dark forces hit the ape in an instant. The three forces were integrated into one, and the aura burst into the sky with a bang. The vision is hazy, like a shadow. Bang. The dragon casts evil, the cloud dances, and the spirit beast is affected by the spirit mask, and the figure keeps retreating. The cloud-dancing dragon retreats. The sword blocks the spirit power and is constantly rubbed. The black flame rubs sparks. It's a spark with lightning. After a long time, quiet the strange silence around the stone house. It's a great feeling of freedom. "Thank you for helping me." After death, an ethereal figure flying down, white beard, white eyebrows, white robes, a white old man, cannot say the feeling of immortality. "You am going to kill you, ouch." The spirit beast's tusks were sharp, and his whole body was bright red. In his red eyes, there seemed to be red liquid rushing. The cloud dances inside the moyu to brush a silk surprised, unexpectedly whole body up and down overflow blood come. This is spirit beast or Warcraft after all. The scarlet hair looks like a devil from hell. However, she just didn't know that she was more evil than the devil. "Spirit beast, your master is seriously injured now. It's estimated that he will practice in seclusion for a year and a half. Live for a year and a half." The old man stood not far away from Warcraft, with a white beard and a smile in his eyes. Spirit beast a listen, red mao lung a lung, the ferocious red on the body faded a lot, but still die rub ran anger. "Well, I'll let you go first." After pondering, the spirit beast glanced at the three people, and a trace of fear passed in the depth of his eyes. He knows he can't beat the old man. It's better to stay here for a year and a half and let the master recover and let him be slaughtered. "You let us go, but I didn't say I let you go." They arrogant roar, with the power of darkness, like ghosts. Bang! Before the spirit beast turned around, it was engulfed by the darkness, stifled on the ground, jumped up and down, and lay on the ground in ferocious pain. "You, what is it?" The spirit beast looks at the ferocity of the heart part, the eyes are dull and big, and looks at the whole of the blood spray unbelievably. The elixir has been taken away. Just for a moment the blood eye of the spirit beast overflows with blood and obscures its vision. The purple figure is reflected in its dark red, bloodthirsty and arrogant eyes. Is she a human or a ghost? Why is there demonic darkness, beast-like blood? Cloud Dance's eyes are indifferent, his mouth is stained with a sneer, his blood is attacking purple clothes, and he is cold and bloodthirsty. A bloody hand is holding a silver elixir. The old man looked at Yunwu's powerful blow, and the old man's eyes were full of smiles. Kill the 7th level spirit beast with one blow? This is unheard of in mainland China. The 7th level spirit beast in the upper world is more ferocious than the 8th level Warcraft in mainland China. Moreover, this spirit beast is also malignant. This girl really surprised him. Long Qingxie put away the épée and looked at the spirit beast with a deep smile. It's a pity. It's better to dry its blood bit by bit. Cloud Dance glanced at him, and his eyes were full of dark. There is also the mood to complain here. Just now, I don't know who it is. I know how to put on X, which is my most calm and handsome posture. Looking at it, I want to be flat. The old man moved his eyes to Long Qingxie, surprised and thoughtful. Then clearly nodded, slightly pursed lips smile emerged. In this way, will the Admiralty be relieved? Yunwu takes back her eyes on the spirit beast and looks at the old man. The old man nodded with a smile. You saved me, of course. Who imprisoned you here? Yunwu is very curious, the old man's words and deeds. The power is immeasurable. It seems that every action has a huge power. The man who can imprison him must be amazing. The old man smiles like a spring breeze. There is no hostility in his smile. There is a kind of affinity of reunion after a long separation. Girl, the world is unpredictable. There are days outside the world and people outside the world. When you have a chance to go to a new space, you will understand that I am nothing more than that. The old man glanced at the distant sky, and there seemed to be something between his words. New space? Why should I go? Cloud Dance eyebrow tip tiny pick, eye bottom passes silk don't understand, the smile of the corner of the mouth is a little flimsy. The old man seems to know a lot, mysterious. Because your relatives have been waiting for you. My family. Cloud Dance micro frown, eyes puzzled looking at the old man. The old man just a little smile, then turn him out to see to Long Qingxie, don't seem to want to say what more. Cloud Dance to see this, naturally understand what to ask. Here's a drop of blood. If you inject it into the man's body, you can get rid of his perplexity. The old man took out a jade bottle from his arms and handed it to Long Qingxie. Dragon Qing evil result jade bottle, the mouth light passes a ray of light, the corner of the mouth holds smile way, thank you. The old man nodded, looked at Long Qingxie and Yunwu, pondered for a long time, and finally said, the person who can use Jinzhong to confuse must not be simple, or the person behind him must not be simple, you must be careful. The owner of the Beast Gate, is it simple? Cloud Dance slightly pick eyebrow, words export then all the time looking at the old man's facial expression, seemed to want in his facial expression, looking for clues. If not, when the old man heard the word Beast Gate, the smile at the corner of his mouth was obviously stiff, and the abnormal flash in his eyes was gone. He took a deep look at the dragon and Cloud Dance, turned and floated away. I didn't expect that it was the people of the Beast Gate. Your contact with the Beast Gate has just begun. Take care of yourself. A faint voice floated from the air. When he looked at the old man again, his figure had disappeared. I just started? Cloud Dance looks at the place where the old man disappears, frowns slightly, and the circle of ink night ice has come to an end. It's almost over. What does the old man mean? Long Qingxie's eyes drooped slightly, and the bottom of his eyes was dark. It seems that the more difficult things are behind. Cloud Dance glanced at him and asked, what do you mean? It means we can't elope. It's time to go back. Long Qingxie wantonly smile, spread hand, some helpless. The Cloud dances the eyebrow to pass a touch of displeasure, the corner of the mouth resents a coagulate, don't want to let her know again, stare at him one eye, turn round to leave the stone house. The old man was mysterious. She could guess some things. Everything that happened at the junction of the three kingdoms seemed to have something to do with the upper boundary. When they got what they wanted, they rushed back to Long Shugua as soon as possible. The wind is blowing, the hurricane is whispering in my ear, with a touch of cool. Suddenly, the phantom of galloping in the air suddenly stopped, and the dragon's evil eyes flashed a light. Cloud Dance eyes swept a touch of cold light, wind with a touch of dark and gloomy atmosphere. This breath she is familiar with. It's Moibing. She looked down at the woods below. The black robe was covered with ice in the dark night, and she stood still. She was isolated by the cold void. Are you waiting for them? Let's go our way. Cloud Dance coldly glances at Mo Yebing, and then raises her eyes to the dragon. Although she knew that Moibing could not let them leave, she just wanted to try how Moibing would stop them from leaving. At that moment, the white phantom passed by. In a blink of an eye, the figure of Mo Yebing had fallen completely. The cloud dances, the eye light contemplates, and a doubt passes between the eyebrows. Not catching up? When he shows up, is he a soy sauce maker? That's the same second after her meditation. A touch of nothingness of the dark atmosphere, head-on attack, dragon-ching evil figure suddenly jumped back, followed by the roar of continuous bang-down sound from behind him. They are tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.